Good gravy, ladies and gentlemen. We're gathered here today for the 99th session of people who can't say their worms correctly. Always getting them mixed up and wound the wrong way. I'm always doing that. Like the time I went to get a care hut and asked the dresser to give me a short bacon sides. But that's a different story, indeed. For now, we are getting together to play some Oxygen Included. Plenty of oxygen, because we like to breathe easily. And with that in mind, let us jump in. It is very shortly till the tungsten volcano erupts and melts our device. But failing that, we are just testing our little machine of doom, doomeroomery. We made this gadget here. It waits 90 seconds before it lets the sweeper sweep anything. Then it waits way too long for this. That can be really short. That can be, say, let's set that to 20 seconds. That gives it just enough time to pulse the thing, resetting everything. And here we go, here we go, here we go. Chillio, boom! Resets the old meter, and another bunch gets swept through. Got 200 units going in now, and that will all drop in once 200 units has gone through. That will turn off, dropping all the resources, the sulfur right here. There's 320 units of kilos of sulfur there, all dropping in temperature, and it will drop in temperature for however long we set this one for, which at the moment is 90 seconds. Yeah, 90 seconds. I don't know if 90 seconds is enough. I don't know if 90 seconds is too little, or if this is set to too much stuff. Let's set it down to 100. Leave it on 100. And the sweeper can pick up 1,000 kilos in one go, so it doesn't need very long on this. Nope. I'll set that to 20 seconds. That just gives it enough time to pick up everything there, shove it in there, and jobs are good. Jobs are funny and good as your aunt. And 90 seconds seems like a very long time, but it's getting down. It's not as low as I'd like it to be, temperature-wise. Might pop in here. Lock that one. Leave this one open, yeah. Come in here with some better liquid pipe. I think this liquid pipe. Plumbing. Radiant liquid pipe made of steel. Ooh yeah, baby. Some steel right there, would you? And that's best chunked out that. And this time is ticking away to 20 seconds. We check that. We can check the temperature of this stuff coming out. Let's have a look. 57 degrees. That's a bit too hot. I want it cooler than that. The next batch is coming through at 60 odd degrees. And lowered it now to just 100. There should be... I've set that to 100 units. I don't know what they classed as a unit. Because there's 220 kilos of sulfur sat there. I know what we can do to boost this up. Yeah. We need is to sweep that iron out. Butters. Take that iron away. We need a temp shift plate. What have we got that could be a very effective temp shift plate? Apart from ice. That would be quite effective. What about glass? Is glass any good? I wish it'd let you see the stats on this screen rather than having to go and look them all up. Yeah, let's think. Make one out of that. Boom. That'll do nice. Get the hell out of here, will ya? Place to hang around. Right, so what temperature has that got down to? It's still pretty hot. How about this liquid loop? What's it coming through at? 3 degrees now. It has got quite a bit to do in this room, hasn't it? Passing most of its temperature on that side. Yeah, I think we'll do it the same as we do the other one. Means, that's the wrong button, means this. That one and that one are supposed to be not radiant pipes. They're supposed to be like, you know. So all the cooling occurs in this middle section where the materials are. Also, like a better liquid would be better. Yes, a better liquid would be better. We could build a little room here and just pop this out and just let that water out and, well, put in something else. Something a little bit more, you know, better. Maybe we could use some crude oil. Right, get the hell out. Go on, sod off. Go the hell away. Rod, will you please pee off? Move to... Get the hell out. Why have they got to do that? No. Get the flipping hell out of my room. Right, you can stand there then. Be change. Going in for something. My word, Harold, you're being irritating. So you're going to go on a nice long walk. There. That's to punish you for being so annoying. Out. Go on. Bug off. Look at his eyes. Hyper. He's hyper. Right, let's get off to Grosselin then. Oh, we've made some tungsten here. Look at this. It's erupted. So, tungsten is on the system. Now, we've got some temperature things to set here. This one's got to be, what temperature does that tungsten get kicked out at? So, I've got it set to, if it gets below 127, which is basically when these would stop working. I think that's a bit hopeful. But we're going to go for it, I guess. Let's add tungsten to the sweeper. We've got already data banks on here because there was some dropped. And we should have Isoresin added to this as well. Let's turn off everything that shouldn't be on here. Isoresin can be there. And we want tungsten. This is the moment of truth, I guess. Hang on. I've got to do something here. Because when this tungsten gets to that level, it's just going to fall out into this water. And that's quite hot. Then again, this water can take quite a bit of heat to walk before it actually starts running. I want to see if this will work. Isoresin. And... not lead, muppet, tungsten. That can be reduced in priority. There's no need to... Oh, it doesn't seem to erupt too much in one hit. Now, if that was already preset, that might have been better. Then we'd get a full amount of cooling at it before it erupts again. Is it going to get all of it on the line? Oh, that's beautiful. If you can get all of it on. We got he's got 12. Oh no, that would have been so good if we could get one entire eruption's worth of material on the line. But we've basically taken up every square we can. I didn't really want to take these 2 squares. What's the temperature on these now? 220? Some of it's a bit lower. Yes, it should drop its temperature pretty darn fast because it is tungsten. If it's below 127, it should chuck it out. What's the steam pressure in here? See, that's the difficult bit. How the hell am I going to monitor that? The only thing I can do with this thing is like if it's above 20,000 grams, which is... I need it more than that. I want this tungsten to have a lot of steam to put into. But if the pressure gets too high, these vents will close. Well, before the vents close, this volcano will be overpressured. That's bad news. I don't want to do that. Perhaps we can work it on a timer so that when the resin gets dropped in, if we know just how much resin... If we were to know just how much gas would be... steam would be produced by the resin... And we could drop the resin in, and we would know by the amount of resin going in. Right. Alright, I'm getting there. So plumbing, we would have to use one of those liquid meters to say how much to pump out. But then it's not always going to be much, is it? It's going to be tiny amounts. Hi, Punk. Yes, I am back. We're back. We're back with a vengeance. Now, let's see. If we put that in... But the thing is, it's not going to always have much, is it? So instead of doing that... trying to figure a way of, like, every time it gives out a certain amount of resin, then this will automatically pump out a certain amount of water. If we know how much resin's going in, we can predict how much water should come out. Right. But the problem with that is we actually don't know how much resin's going in. It's not always going to be a full like this. Sometimes it's going to be dribs and drabs. Oops. Well, we could do something about that. We could. Yes, we could. Because we could pump it into a tank, into a liquid reservoir. The reservoir will give out a signal when it's got a certain amount in it. So if we deconstruct that and move that up, I want to deconstruct this deodorizer, not the wire. I know it's got a potential load that's really high, but that's only if everything was to go all at the same time, which it probably isn't. There's some rust on the subject. Let's get rid of that phone. When she comes back, she can do that and plug the new phone in the little room. You'll get an actual room bonus for it. Oh, crikey. 5 cycles already. Well, not this session, but 5 cycles from earlier. I should have got myself a nice cold drink before I started. While it's doing its save, I will run and get one. Right, back. I am back. Thank you for your patience. Yeah, having a nap with her suit on. But at least now she's sleeping in here. And when we kind of... well, she's got popped ears anyway, hasn't she? So she might as well ditch the suit now. We could probably disable this one. Well, she's still... No, actually. Enable it. Don't disable it. Sorry, I've changed my mind. Because she's still going to have to go down into that murky, disgusting, polluted water of doom. Right, let's put a tile there and put everything that was on that tile. We'll move up one. And then we've got a nice, perfect little space here. Plonk a couple of tiles like so. Now, I was going to change this pipe, wasn't I? Yes, I was. Let's snipper-ah, snipperoo. Snip that. Or connect it, rather. Get rid of this bit. Get rid of that bit. I guess you can get rid of that bit too. Awesome sauce. Absolutely. That's perfect. All of that can go. All of that can go. That can be built and done and stuff and things. And when you need a little bit of sedimentary rock, you'll know that there's a little piece there just for you. And this phosphorus liquid is actually nice and warm now. Look at that. It's toasty. Awesome sauce. Excellent. This one's about to erupt too in 18 seconds, so that'll be even more going in there. You know what? We could probably make another couple of hydrogen generators. We've got the space. We'll put one in here. Give us even more power. But I am getting to the point where I'm worried that this little 2 kilowatt wire should be replaced. Something a bit more beefy. Now what we could do is the wire from these two can come down here and go to a power transformer pointing inwards. So we don't have to have a big fat wire coming from up there somewhere, ruining our aesthetics. No, we don't like our aesthetic ruined. Take your suit off. Put your suit back on again. Oh, she must have run out of oxygen. Probably because she was sleeping in her suit. It looks like she's got like a window view of space. That looks cool. I like that. What are you doing, Ellie? Why are you doing that? That seems odd. Right, what have we got here? We sent over another few thousand steel, so you might as well make it out of that. So what we're going to do is when that's built, this sends a green signal when it's less than the low threshold. Right, which sends a red signal when it's full. We set that super low to some super low amount. Don't we take advantage of that? Somehow sends a green signal when it's less than low. But when it sends a red signal, you know there's at least a certain amount in there. So when it goes red, you'd want it to flip that to a green signal. And you could use that green signal to say, we know that we've got at least this amount of resin in the tank. Then you can pump that resin down into there. Because you know exactly how much is in there. That might not work exactly though, because we would need some space beside it to put like, we could probably do that in here. I'm gonna say we need some kind of plumbing liquid shut-off so that we can stop it from flowing into there. That would have to go in this room. Would have to go in here, wouldn't it? But this can stop the flow, so it definitely doesn't add any more. And we can send liquid down to there. The reason I'm stuck is because this Atmo sensor only goes up to 20,000. We could just use the Atmo sensor and just let it go to 20,000. Pump out all the excess water above 20,000 pressure. But that doesn't give an awful lot of steam for this tungsten volcano to pump out into. So we're going to see. What I might do then is instead of having that go to a vent, we're going to put a tank here of water to put the water to catch it in case we need to put it back into the system. Right, we'll get rid of this liquid vent. We'll go get rid of that. We'll use the pipe, liquid pipe, and that will go into the intake of that instead. We'll get it all prepared as well. We'll have this pipe coming back up. How are we going to attach it, though? No, I guess we can just attach it directly to that, can't we? Oh, we'd have to bridge over that. Cancel that then. Belay that order. We'll go the other way. Go down here. Come up there. We'll use the one that we're going to use for Isoresin. Yeah, that's the one we're going to use to put the well, not the Isoresin, but the resin in system. And because we know how much steam that's going to create, or we will do, should be able to extract the correct amount of... I've just thought of a way we could do it. Here we go. That saves all these bottles and confusing things. What if we just had... Here's a thought process. Right, so you've got a liquid pipe, yeah? Let's say it's there like that, right? You don't want to build it, so you're going to mark it down as a 1. You want to build this, so you'll let them build it. Right, so yeah, so say you've got a liquid pipe here. If you have one of those liquid pipe liquid pipe element sensor on this pipe somewhere, like that element sensor works a bit like the thermo sensor. Instead of checking the temperature, it's checking that there is a liquid in there, right? So if there's a liquid in there, it then automatically opens this, allowing 1 packet of, like, well, it's 2 steam turbines, so it's 3,600 per packet. So if 1 packet of resin comes down, 1 packet of water leaves the system. Yeah, because you could have that linked to that, and that would be on the pipe coming down containing the resin. So if you put 10 packets of resin in, you're automatically opening that for 10 times, 10 packets. Would that work? I think that would work. I think that should work. The only reason that wouldn't work is if the steam turbines were not running. But we're going to also have some automation that says if the steam turbines are not running, then that way we need to know temperature in here, right? We would need to know what temperature it is in here to know whether they're running or not. Is there any other way? Oh, wattage. We could detect the wattage, couldn't we? So if its current wattage is... Isn't there something that checks the power? An automation thing? Wattage meter or something? I don't know what it was. Let's look under automation. I've not used it, so I'm not sure if it would do what I want it to do. There's some kind of... I thought there was some kind of thing that senses the... there's a time of motion, atmo, wattage sensor. Aha! So if the wattage sensor went on this line somewhere, we would be able to know if these are putting out any power. That would tell us if it's hot enough in here, because it'll be at least 125. Otherwise, these wouldn't be running. Aha! Let's see if that works. I'm going to build that because I've not used them before. So let's build one and see if it works. So that would be attached to an AND gate or something, which would be decide whether or not this thing's going to pump. So we can get rid of that tank. We don't need you now. We've got to get in here without dropping all this liquid everywhere. That's going to be... we probably have to dig these 2 tiles out and climb down, because if we go through here, that tree's going to stomp us. And if we open these 2 to get out, we're going to let all the resin pour out, which seems like a bad idea to me. Okay. What's in here? How much? Did we ever sweep out the rest of it? View interior. I'll hit a sweep on there, and I'll go back, not to Lavini, go to Grosselin. We'll make sure that is set to allow manual use. Oxalite and sweep only. Yes, it is. So that'll give her a job. She can keep bringing oxalite and dumping it in here. It's not using that thing anymore. We've cut it off, so it just connects under here. You can't see it because there's a bridge in the way. But it just connects under there. That bridge could actually be moved back here now. It's not necessary to be there anymore. Don't bother with that. We'll just chuck in what we want to chuck in. Deconstruct you and deconstruct. Okay. Right, so the thought process, thinking aloud, thinking aloud. We could run another one of those. We're also getting power coming in from these. We don't seem to have an over. Oh, there's more stuff on the system. Storing 75 this time. It's got down to 137. I say, how long until it erupts? No, it's got plenty of time. It's got plenty of time. This is also running to cool the cooling loop. So let's see, what does that do? No automation wire, yeah, I know that. But I need to know what it actually does. Sends a green signal if current wattage is within the selected range. Okay. So, okay. So if we go above whatever the wattage is, because this one's facing the other way, if you see, it's like facing inwards. So if we go to power, that's adding power to the grid. So what I need to see is, because we didn't put yeah, I tried to use that, not sure how. Okay, so because I didn't put a thermosensor in here, and I don't really want to break back in again while it's that temperature, because it will flash our little liquid lock to instant resin and let all the steam out. Could be bad. And we'd have to wait for this to go dormant and wait for the steam to recondense as water, which it might never do. So my logic is, in a way to tell how, if this is running and it's running hot, these things should be running, right? And if they're running, they will be providing wattage to this. So we will know we're getting wattage from the, actually that says 0 watts. That's a bit weird. Current voltage 0. Send a green signal if it's above, say, I don't know, 300 watts. That's maybe it doesn't work with this type of wire. Maybe you need the big wire. I shouldn't have thought so. That would be silly. It's above 300 watts. How much watts are we making here? Well, that should be reading a lot of wattage. But it's not sensing anything, is it? Wattage sensors can send a signal when a building is switched on or off. Yeah. Sending a red signal because it's not reading any wattage. That's weird. It was reading wattage, wasn't it, when we first put it on? Now it seems to have stopped. But do we need to put it on this side of the wire after the power transformer? Because that seems a bit weird, because all of this will be providing power to it. Don't really want to. Current load 0 watts. Oh, okay, right. So not actually. Yeah, because there's nothing on this system using power. Apart from that, I guess that doesn't use power; it dishes power out. Gonna work then. We need something on this line that uses power in order for us to actually gauge it. If it's on or not. Well, we could put a light there, couldn't we? Then it would use power, because that would be on this side of it. So, oh, that's flashed then for a moment. Then did you see that? That's not working right. Let's put a bit of automation wire on it and see if that helps to kick it into action. Is she not doing any of this? Has she gone to bed or something? Gone on strike? Where is she? Where are you? Been in here probably digging or something. I made her sweep up 3 stacks of this, so we should have plenty. Ah, she's been doing that. Okay, we'll just untick allow manual use so she stops doing that for a bit. Right. I'll cancel that. That doesn't need to be thermium. Crikey. We'll just make it out of good old-fashioned steel. Yeah, this is making a current load of 0 watts. I'm going to try something. There's nothing being used on this line because it powers this. It's sending power onto the system when it's running. Now steam temperature's too low. This needs to be kicking out. Yeah, this should be. Oh, what's going wrong here? That's been reset to something, hasn't it? If it's below 130, that should be chucking out at below 130. Here we go. We're getting materials coming out now. Tungsten dropping out the system. Ah. Tungsten is being removed. This is now off because it's too low, so we won't get anything off of this thing, I wouldn't have thought. No, that should be on 0. I'm going to try put in a furniture ceiling light. It will get hot though, that's the problem. I didn't want to have to do something like that. And because it's right on where that wire goes anyway, and it's before that, so it won't get any power from any of the rest of the system. It'll only get power when these are on. That should give us a reading, at least something. It probably won't be that much, because I don't think it uses a lot, does it, the old ceiling lights? Furniture, ceiling light. Uses 10 watts. So if that goes over 10 watts, give us a signal. If these are running, that light should come on, right? And that should then give us a signal. Something on this wire is using power, I think. Why do we make it out of granny? That's silly. Don't make it out of granny. We've got tons of igneous. Let's make it out of igneous. Make it out of igneous. Right, and bring that down to there. That's why we dug up all the igneous. That can be put down to a 7. That is on a 9 because I wanted to build it. This is now evacuated. Everything's chucked out the system. It's gone too cold. So at this point, you wouldn't want, well, I wouldn't want it dropping a big pile of resin in here. That would be bad, right? So, I mean, we've got a lot of resin at the moment. But what we could do is throttle it so that only a certain amount comes through at a time, so you know how much is in the pipe. Oh, you're building a wire on this. No, you haven't got one, because you probably deleted the other one. Where I built a power wire. Didn't I? Did I? Did I do something else instead? Did I put automation on it? Nope. Okay, fair enough. Random bit of clay you can sweep up there. Well, this is now your new room to hang out in. You don't have to go standing up there all the time. But it's probably going to use up all your air in your suit, but never mind. We've got an air supply system, and it's got quite a lot of oxalite in there. She did plant her plants in the end, so but I still don't think that makes this an actual bedroom. No, it doesn't. We need to make her an artist in order to do that. I'm thinking of deleting this and bricking that in so that we can actually have our room there. Shame. We'll keep that one there for as long as it wants to. It's not growing anyway because it's too bloody hot. I think we could probably help that by... Oh, come on. By running this liquid loop past it or something. I'm going to get rid of this overflow. Not connected anymore. We don't want it. Deconstruct that bridge. And then deconstruct those two there. Be very careful what you deconstruct. Yeah, we could run a pipe across here and just have a little area there to keep it cool. Yeah. This now what erupts in 0.2 cycles, so we'll get to see whether or not it will put all of it on the rack. No, I was hoping it would put all of it on, but it's just not got enough space. We should have put those 2 dots in of the conveyor route. At least we'd have the option if we wanted to use them, and we could see if they melt or not. If it melted, it would turn into a piece of steel anyway, which we could sweep out eventually. I'll leave you watching that. I'll be back in 1 moment. I am back. Thank you for your patience. I see the machine is running. The machine of doom is running. So I was wondering how to do is once this is all pumped out, it will be normal, right? This will be the normal situation. Is all of a sudden this thing will get fed either from the mushrooms or for some food being sent over. This will all be cleared out by the robot. So, yeah. Ooh, something just got dropped in here. Slime. Oh, he must have popped some slime out somewhere. Old, floating goober. Yeah, doesn't it? Okay, so if my problem is however much this spurts out, I don't really know because we can't tell with this much liquid in here. Because this isn't going to be the norm. It's not going to be this high. It's going to be like whatever that spits out, and then the pump will just start pumping. And it senses some. So there's a couple of ways we could deal with that, because we need to know exactly how much is going to be in the packet that is pumped down so that we can pump the equivalent amount of water out of the system that we don't want in there when we're dropping. Because if this comes down how I suggested with the pipe and the sensor on it, so the resin will come down, it will say, hey, there's resin in the pipe, that means this can run. One packet of resin will pump out 1 packet of water, but we need to balance them. We need to know how much is in that pipe, how much resin is coming in. Now you can set a limiter, you can set the liquid valve, but that's only the minimum amount. It might be like, no, that's only the maximum amount. It might be less than that, and if it's less than that, that will still get pumped. So what we need to do, try to make sure we know exactly how much is coming down. We do need to put that tank back then, don't we? We kind of think maybe. Might bring it forward by 1 so that we can put it here. have enough room there for some shut off or something like that before it goes into the tank. So that we can make sure the tank only has the amount in it that we want. I'm thinking that's probably the better way. Which means I'm going to do that and that then, I suppose. Let's cancel that for now. This machine is running. The ambient temperature is on there. Let's see, this thing is now giving a green signal because we've got wattage. We've got way more than 10 watts coming through the system. I think that's because this is actually being used. This power is actually being drawn to be used for something. When it was running before, it said it was giving us power, but this wasn't showing anything. Because the power wasn't actually going anywhere or being used. I'm not sure if this is helping, but I guess it's not hindering, but it will be making things hot. Just out of curiosity. I'm going to deconstruct it now. See if that still gives us our green signal. I don't like the fact that it's giving out constant heat when we're trying to cool the heat. Now that's off. It's very interesting. Right. So, oh, hang on. It says it's sending a green signal. Current wattage reading. Yeah, sends a green signal if it's above 10 watts. So why did it stop before? Maybe actually these weren't actually giving any power. They looked like they were, but they weren't actually giving power. So that will tell us if these are on and this is running. Yeah, I think it might just be because the power is being consumed by these. And so this is kind of like actually using, so it's showing that it's running. Because that was odd. These were definitely running before and it said that there was no wattage. But that's our way of telling, I guess, if there's anything going on in here. Is if there's any power coming out of these guys. That's the only way we can really tell. Sending a green signal because it's above 10 watts. So when this power gets lower, maybe 130 is a little bit ambitious to get it down to. That should turn off. It's sending a green signal now. We'll see if that gets dug. Finish off this room. I want to get all this obsidian swept up. That swept up, please, on a higher priority. That crap moved, please. That can be dug up. Oh, and then this can be actually done. Ellie, you've done a grand job here, but you're still slow as hell. You're slower than me. And that's saying something. So yeah, what I need to know is how much, when that food drops in, roughly how much is it going to give? Or what we could do is, no, because that won't work either. We would have to have 2 sensors. Liquid sensors. So that we would know the low height and the high height. We would need to know both. So that we would know there's at least a minimum amount and there's at least like the maximum amount. So we know whether it can run or not. It needs both of those to be positive before we allow the pump to run. So there's always a decent amount of liquid in here. And we could also add a buffer to make it run to us for a certain length of time, so it doesn't just pump tiny packets of nothing, a drip. It'd be nice to know, like when it gets some bog jelly in here, if it actually kind of, you know, how much of it comes out. We can't really tell very easily. on this. Once it's pumped empty, then we can really tell when the next batch of bog jelly drops in. Also, I'm noticing that the bog jelly is dropping in very infrequently now, but when it does, there's quite a lot of it. And I think it's because when I get to Illa, I go to Illa, I'm in here at 55 degrees. Nearly done now, so that's still not really making it very cool. Right, so when I come here, I changed this to, oh, I thought it was 50. It's only 20. Let's drop it down to 10. And that feels like a bit of a waste because you're paying all those rad bolts and you're barely sending anything. We go to the star map and have a look. Do we have any? When we first started doing this, there was literally a little stream. Ah, hello, Potat. How are you doing? Easiest. Ah, weren't we going to put some plants in here? Have a mellow seed. Have a, no, not a briar. Have a buddy bud. Buddy buds are awesome. Everybody likes buddy buds. Well, unless they don't. But if they don't, then they're crazy. While we're here, we're going to run this slightly differently. Ooh, I'm alright. I'm alright. It's all the others. That's what my mother always. Going to come down there. And we're probably going to come down there. I'm going to think about that bit first. Because this is going to be got rid of. This lot's going to go towards the middle. This lot already has a bridge giving it this direction. We're going to put another bridge there giving it this direction. So we'll come to the center here. Come up. And we'll come up here. Where will we come up? Because we've got to come up some bloody way. Come on, make a decision. No, we're going to come up there because that's it. Decision's been made. Right, cancel. We need a, I'm going to snip that for now because I don't want anything coming up yet. What I'm going to do, want a shipping, oh crap. Want we want a filter. I want a solid filter. I'm going to place that right there. We're going to bring that down a bit. No, we're going to leave it right there because that's the most inconvenient spot to place it. That's going to go up. That way we can filter out our seeds and we can take the seeds and we can chuck them in here. And let the fish have them. They'll like them. Fish. I never did run this. The gases all fell into this hole and froze. Go back to Grosseline. I want to see how the tree's still going like crazy up there. How's this going? 0.4 cycles. So yeah, we could just run it at 20,000 and see if it works. If it all breaks, then that was a bad idea. But if it works, then what we could do is just link that 20,000. If it's above 20,000, this is open and it lets the water out. And if it's below 20,000, it lets the water come back in. So you could just pump as much resin in there as you wanted and it wouldn't cause any problems. So this is just for a trial to see whether we could get this to work. It's now sending a red signal, which is correct. These are off. I want to see if when this erupts again, if these come on. That way it will only ever send resin when these are on. And if these are on, we know this is erupting, so we know it's nice and toasty hot in here. Because we can't guarantee that the thermo aquatuner is on. Well, it's on, but it's not running because the Liquid loop is cool enough. It doesn't need to run. As long as it's cool enough to keep these guys going, I don't care. And also to, not Murph leaves are good. Also to keep this from overheating, the sweeper and that. It's very important that they don't overheat. Now, power wires are very, very ugly. Nobody likes the big heavy watt power wires. There's another way we could possibly do this. No, there isn't, because the exhaust from that would probably melt it. I'm going to say we could have all our transformers out here in the tube and just send the conductive wires in here, and all the nasty stuff could be out here with the heavy watt wires and all the stuff. We could have a heavy watt wires off of these just going straight through the wall. Could do it through here, make a little vacuum sealed, vacuum chamber room so that the temperature can't transfer. Ellie's getting all the odd jobs done. That's great. That's great. Come on. 0.2 cycles. I'm excited. I'm excited, or I'm confused. One or the other. I think I'm going to risk it and try that, letting it get down to the 80, to the 20,000. So in order to do that, we'd need to connect this and say if it's below 20,000, then you let it out, right? So we want it changed. If it's above 20,000, you let the water out. Okay, good. Yeah, that goes into this tank. That's the input, correct? Yep. Got it ready to put back in the system if it all messes up. But I think it's worth a try. If we can run on just 20,000, then that would be so easy to program, to set it up, to add the resin. Okay, so what we've got to do is, to set that up, we've got to connect this to this. That will now say, hey, it's over 20,000 pressure in here, so we don't need any more water. Let the water out and it'll go in this tank. With that in mind, I want to get this done relatively quickly then, because not obsidian, yeah, muppet breath. I wanted to brick up under here like that. We'll need these ladders in situ to do that, but we might need more tanks. I'm not sure. It depends. This is 80 kilos per tile in here, and we're going to drop it down to 20 kilos per tile, which might not be good enough. It might make these overheat. Who knows? I don't know. I wanted quite a lot of water in there to give this tungsten a lot of steam to sort of dump its heat into. But this sensor doesn't really go high enough. If this is a terrible idea, we'll pump the water back in and we'll carry on. Because we'll know the water in this tank is the water we removed from the tank. This has now got a layer of water across it. And if she was to actually reach that, well, actually, she'd probably do it from there, can't she? Yeah. We could dig that out, the water would spread across there, and we would stop getting all this off-gassing. It means we could put a few deodorizers around. Now, that's now done, so we can prick this in. Don't go in our room, will you, Puffed? Now she's going for a dump. Ellie, center of attention while you're taking a poop. Sends in rads. They always lose rads when they take a dump. You know? Lose rads when you poop. Did anyone know that? I didn't know that. Yeah. It's a bit spicy coming in and out, isn't it? We could probably do with putting some plastic tiles here. That might help a little. These could all be replaced with plastic, not that. These could be replaced with plastic. That's not necessary at such a high priority. That was where we dumped. What did we dump out here? The liquid phosphorus. That can probably go now. We don't want you. I am doing all right. Thanks for asking. I can't remember if I replied to your question. So I'm going to reply twice. Look at that. Line being automatically fed to the mushrooms. I'm going to get brave and I'm going to dig out these 2 tiles. I want to build a sweeper right here. I think if she stands here, she can build it. That way, if we do get things in here we don't want in here, we can sweep them out. And we can also fill this with some of the food that gets dropped in. We can have bog jelly in there. The bog jelly is inaccessible. I want to make sure there's no bog jelly on there at the moment, because if we dig these tiles out, I'm going to put a door there and lock it. She can still build things through the door. So once the door is in place, I'll breathe a sigh of relief at that point. But yeah, instead of messing around with this and trying to regulate how much liquid is coming out and all that kind of thing, this will work at 20,000. Unfortunately, we didn't quite get the rail long enough. Sorry, that's very loud. At least it is for me. I'm turning it down a bit. It won't affect your volume, but it will affect mine. Right. So, if you can make the rail long enough for whatever volcano it is and however much it puts out, then, like this, so that when it's a full, just rotating loop, that there's maybe 1 space left from 1 complete eruption's worth, then that's good, because you know that your whole batch is being dealt with at once. But we've got this tiny little amount left in here, which is rather annoying. I don't even know. Even if I use those 2 slots there, they would only be another 2 20-kilo packet slots. So I don't think it would even run the... No, I don't think it would. Oh well. So this basically flows under here and blocks this from being able to put any more on, which keeps it rotating, which is nice. I like that. We've done that several times this series, utilising that. Although this might be a bit ambitious. 100 and... yeah. This should be green again now, because power is being made by these guys. We got 389 on that one and 510 on this one. But this is this wattage sensor is reading 9. Yeah, quite high. Yeah, quite a lot. But all we need to know is it running or isn't it? As long as it's running something. So you could leave that on 1 watt if you wanted. If it's above 1 watt, we know that he's running. If it's below 1 watt, then it's not running. And we need it running to make sure it's definitely hot enough to add our resin to the system. All of our water at the moment is coming out. So our steam is going down. I hate it. I don't like it. Don't like it one bit. I'm going to do, because I don't want this to flow, snip that off. We're going to put a bridge here just in case we need to add that back in. We've got this. This is where the isoresin is going to come in. Well, it's there in situ ready, so we could use that to add the water back in if it proves that 20,000 isn't enough. Still dropping all the water out. Might have to run again before we decide whether or not that's enough water. And of course, because the steam's going lower, we are actually getting more power out of it, but it'll be slightly lesser long-lived, as it were. It'll be more power instantly at the time, but it won't last as long, because the steam is basically like a storage of power. If you've got like 80 kilos of steam per tile at over 125, then you've got a nice bit of power to last you a while. We're not doing this really to generate power. The generating of power is a nice bonus. It's keeping these batteries topped up. But it's not really the reason we're doing it. We're doing it because we want to cool down the materials, chuck them out at a reasonable temperature. Now they're being dropped down here somewhere. That bottle emptier can be deconstructed now. We've got tungsten there at 30 odd degrees. It's putting its temperature into all this water. We can't do that forever. Eventually this water would warm up and turn to steam. So we've got to make a more permanent solution. I'm thinking of maybe sending over some crude, and we can do a similar sort of container, fill it with crude with a sweeper and everything. That system that we've been doing repeatedly. We've been doing it here in Ila. This is obviously taking ages because I keep making it such a tiny amount in here and it's got such a long time. But I want to try and send it a bit cooler. I think if we replace this liquid with either with crude oil or petroleum, I think that might actually be a better choice. What are you doing down here, Plug Slug? You be wrangled up and go somewhere else. Yeah, so we've done a system like that, but we should have, I think I should have just allowed it to use petroleum. Never mind. Because we did set up the tank system here. This is designed to take petroleum from the system, from this pipe, draw it down here and send it over there. Got an automatic sort of petroleum replacement system that we kind of destroyed, really. When we changed all of this, we got rid of the pipe. I think, yeah, this pipe used to go all the way back to... Well, it used to go back to here, didn't it? Come all the way across and go up to this tank and automatically refill it. But we never really landed a rocket here since, so what's the bloody point? There's no point in it. Sounding very British. What's the bloody point then, Governor? Ooh, this is actually running. You running? Oh. 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 Somebody cut it off. You're supposed to have been running all this time. Gosh, blimey. Oh no. Let's check Lavini and see how much water is in the water tank of doom. Oh, it's still going up. Well, okay. But this is going down, so this is not brilliant, is it? So we do need to steal a bit of water from here, I think. We stopped adding water from this one because it was going into our oxygen maker. And, oh, what's going on here? You need wrangling, mate. Yes, mate. All right, mate. All right, Governor. Right, so we were sending water down and adding it to this tank because this tank, technically, this steam vent doesn't produce enough water to feed both of these. So, that's a concern. I don't like it getting too low. If this gets so low that this spike is not in the water, then these won't be getting any cooling and they'll be burning up in the vacuum when they're run. Need to be cooled. Yeah, we're dripping water on it, but that'll be the only cooling left. This was supposed to be adding water. That's a problem. We're already using the water sending facilities of this one. So, yeah, because we're sieving and filtering it and sending it there ourselves. So, we could add more water. If we eventually run this 95-degree water, but we're trying to send it as cool as possible. This water's at -1. I'm surprised it's even running and not bursting the pipes. 0.6. That's not right, is it? You're supposed to be... Oh. Send a green signal if you're above 2 degrees. The pump's not supposed to be running, is it? Right now. Because that's lower than 2 degrees. So what did I change? I changed something. Right. Yes. So this needs to connect to that. And it also needs to connect through the NOT gate to that. That's why it's not running. Oh. That needs to... that's not right. Needs to be send a green signal is above. If it's sending red, that's now green. Ah, crap. All right, we'll change it to below then. That should stop it. If it's under 2 degrees, that heats it up and that turns that off. Right, okay, good. And it needs to be quite high now. I might even make it higher than that. Might put another one in there. I want a decent amount of water in here, not like a piddly squiddly amount. A decent amount, because we have got this pipe running through it now, and that needs to be kept cold as well. Yeah, this is working quite well. And get rid of that now. Goodbye. Go back to Grosselin and see what's going on. You're about to erupt. How much did we get the air down to, or the steam down to? 19.7. So that should be off now. Okay, good. 19, yeah, it's definitely too low. So we could either use that. If this doesn't work, we'll see. This will be the true test, because it will be erupting from a cold start, so to speak. It'll always stay as steam in here. I don't think it'll ever get cold enough to not be steam. It may do if it's dormant for long enough and the cooling loop never triggers the aqua tuner. But if we could send across some a decent liquid to use as a coolant, we could either send some across with the system here, or we could bring some in a tank on a rocket. Obviously, Ellie would have to go home and get out of this spot, because this is the only landing spot there is. Also want this plant swept up. We've got options. We could make a cooling tank, and then all the items that come out drop into that tank, and it gets actively cooled by the cooling loop from the same aqua tuner, cooling everything else. I'd prefer that it went up and did these guys first before it went through the cooling loop, so that would be a bit awkward. We'd have to, unless we did it over here instead. Where's the... Yeah, the rail goes along here and drops out here. Why couldn't the rail just go this way? We have just a little container thing area there where the resultant, whatever it is, get the name of it, tungsten, comes out. It's dropped into a little room, gets cooled down, and then gets fired off up. Well, we could probably go straight up the wall here, couldn't we, somehow, and send it off either into a rocket or use one of these guys. What's our lux like here? That's not the one I wanted. Ventilation, no, light overlay. Ooh, we got decent lux here. We could use this area, maybe. Collect a bit of rad bolts. Wouldn't store the rad bolts, but I don't think the amount of stuff this is going to produce is actually going to be like too difficult to send back. But we could make something there that uses maybe has its own solar panel or something. Solar panels don't overheat, so we could put a solar panel there and give it its own little bit of power. Those things, I think they take 480 watts, isn't it, these things? So, yeah, we could definitely put one of those in space and have a... is it under shipping, or is it under... Yeah, interplanetary launcher, one of these guys. Make it out of steel. Pop it there. That's another reason to not want your dupes to come in here. They might get shot by red bolts. Oh yeah, we'll use a door. Door there like that. I don't think she can get through to build it though, so we'll have to give her special permission to come in. Once she's come in, I think I'll lock this door, because I was trying to test to make sure it was definitely 3 tiles, and I haven't seen anything come any further. The sweeper can definitely reach everything that comes. for that beacon. And by putting this on its own solar panel would help. I don't know. Because then it won't be draining the grid and overpowering it, because these things take 800. Who's 800? We have enough room. Solar panel in here? No, we don't. We would have to put it up there. Means we could only really fit one solar panel in. I don't think one would generate enough red bolts to fill this thing. You saw how high the lux was. We'd get a decent amount of power, and we should also get... Well, what's these producing? Not enough to run one of those things, though. These things need rads. Back to that one. I want the rads 218, and I want the brightness. Yeah, we'd still need 2 solar panels, even though it's bright. It would take a long time at 200 and something rads, wouldn't it? It'd be nice to have 2 of them. Considerations. Because you can't power them any other way. They're only powered by rad bolts. I don't really want to start building red bolt and radiate, launcher things here. Little mini power things just so that we can have some red bolts. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Damaged overloading. That was another thing. Which one? This one. Conductive wire bridge is overloading. Yeah, I figured things might get a bit too powerful. Especially with this running. Putting a lot of power into the system. Poor little wire can't handle it. What are we going to do then? Are we going to put a heavy watt wire there? We'd run it down this side. Heavy watt wire would be quite far away from the wall, wouldn't it? I think that's okay. How are we going to wire it while we put the heavy watt wire in is another matter. I would put the heavy watt joint plate here and here. I don't want to disturb this little resin liquid lock in case we do need to come back in here and at all. I'd rather put it here. I'd rather push it as far back as it go, but that's kind of not really going to happen, is it? If we run this wire here, just for now, up to there, and then pop a bridge on it, we can switch over to using that. I think I'm going to need a little bit of power while there as well. Yeah, that should work. Then we can clear this line out. Crap, that's lined up perfectly with exactly where the joint plate needs to go. This isn't going to work then, is it? Yes, it is. No, it's not. Oh, crap. Plan B. We're coming up this side then, aren't we? Yep, we are. We are indeed now. Going to come up through there. Not that one. Now we need to join this one to that one. Okay, fair enough. Getting confusing. So many things everywhere. Some of this will be temporary, so we don't need to worry. Now, if I lock this, he doesn't go in there. I bust that tile out. No, don't bust the tile out. Cancel busting the tile. That's a daft idea. How am I going to do this? We could move that liquid up a bit. Good. That. Well, this might not work. This might break the liquid lock, but hey, who knows? Put tile there, please. I'll push that up. Thank you very much. Tile there, please. I'll push it up again. No! Oh well. Something happened. It pushed it the wrong way. Ah, well, that was so sad. Oh well. It means I can do what I wanted to do and ripple this out. Priority that up. Please get that. Oh, she's going to go to bed now, isn't she? Crap. Typical. Always going to bed when I need you. So we're going to run heavy watt joint plates up this edge. Because we couldn't put it there because it would right line up with the power there. Oh, hang on. I know, I think it would be better that way anyway, but I was just going to say, couldn't we just flip it? No, can't flip these, nope, they don't flip. No flipping way. Okay. You and add, what was it? Obsidians. Oh, crap. I didn't want to do whatever that was I clicked on. Obsidians, please. Yeah, switch the obsidian up, would you? Ah, shit. At least she's got her phone line working. Yeah, where'd your act go? As soon as you... Yeah, never mind. As soon as she starts chatting on the phone, her helmet disappeared. Right, so this is the last little bit because there was like an extra, whatever it was, 75. That's running around on its own. That's already cool enough. Yeah. You cooled down quick, didn't you? How much pressure have we got in here now? Ah, we got our 200,000. Close to it, anyway. We can try sending some resin in next time it runs. So we'll use this to say next time it runs, you can send some resin down. But I only want it to run a certain amount. So I think this bridge needs to go. We use this bit of pipe, though we're going to make it insulated up. We'll change it to insulated pipe. How much igneous? We've still got plenty. Run that down to there. That bit's done. Up to there. That change anything? No. Wrong pipe. This should be insulated pipe. No, you're gonna... Ah, now we have things happening. I must have overwritten it with the same pipe. That was clever. That bit. All the way down to there, please. Right, liquid pipage. I'm also going to get rid of that bit there. Come on, let me click. Let me click. Right, I'm thinking. Brain is working. Tick tock, tick tock. I know that's strange, brain working. Since when does the brain bloody work? Okay. Now it'd be better to have it in here. But I don't want to risk her getting clobbered by an angry tree. So we're going to put it here. Going to mean there's going to be a few liquid pipes here. Deconstructing that middle one. Have to run. Oh, we've got to get in there somehow. We're going to do that because we've got to run this pipe. There. Less can be sneaky. Ah. I like your thinking. Yeah, I do. Got a ladder right there. Right. So we can deconstruct that tile. This wire has got 2480 on it. Get rid of this conductive wire. No, let me snip it. Now it's 2000 watts. 2000 watts. Excellent. Potential power used is like exactly what it should be. How hot is our gas pump? 384 degrees. Crikey. This one's a bit cooler, but that's because it's a bit further away. Right, okay. I need to prioritise this up. I've made this so high a priority. That. I want to get this wire done, hopefully, before this triggers in 0.6 cycles. Please do that bit first. She can't get in there, can she? No. Now, I made her sweep up 3 piles of igneous up into here, but she's already used all of that. So much. Alright, power. I need a heavy rot joint plate. Oh, crap. I need to get rid of some stuff. Deconstruct that. But we can't stop this from running because that is our... We've gone up this way now, so we can get rid of... This is confusing. Confusing jumble of wires. Okay, we get rid of that one. No, don't get rid of that one. Cancel deacons. We need to get rid of this bridge. Please. Get rid of this bridge. Yeah, that's what I want to do. That dot. That one. Be ready, because all our Atmo suits are going to go offline now. Do that. Oh, crap. Do that. There you go. Excellent. Right, now we should be able to put a bridge in. Can't. Cancel that. We're going to have to go round. Crap. How are we going to connect to that? While we put the thingy in. Oh, I know what we can do. We just go round it. Can't beat a problem. Just go round a problem. Come on, let me draw. Let me draw. Thank you. We'll do that. Build that wire there. On a 9. On the double. Please build that wire. Materials are all laying around, so that's good. Now we can deconstruct that one. Excellent. Now we can finally put it in. I want the heavy rot conductive joint plate, please. Put one of those right there. Very much. We're also going to put one there, but that needs to be a bridge first. This is confusing, but once we've got it set up, it'll look a lot neater. He said, hopefully. You're going to build that one as well? Excellent. Well done. A bit of wire can go now. She's trying to get the pipes done, and I keep making her do wires. No, come and do my wires. Come on. No, you want to. Another one there. And then we will have to use some nasty heavy watt wire here. Oh, that's the wrong thing, isn't it? Heavy watt conductive wire. A little bit there. Boom. A little bit there. And this will all be changed now to heavy watt wire, won't it? Yes, it will. Which means we'll have to deconstruct this piece and put another one there. Got to get rid of that. Thinking out loud, thinking ahead. Beautiful. Excellent. I like it. I like it, Mikey. Now, I wish we could move our little bit of resin back to there again. That would be nice. Although this thing will get quite hot off the door. Put a lot of temperature into it. Especially when this is erupting. I really could do with the door up here or something. No. They're both metal heavy watt conductive joint plates. Right. How's that looking? Excellent. That's looking better. This thing erupted yet? 0.3 cycles. Okay. I don't think we're going to be ready for this time. She's going to go to bed in a minute. We've got to connect this to this. And this to this one. This to all the batteries and to these two. I think we're pretty much there. I'm going to probably just dig this out. Dig this piece out here. Dig that there. That seems the better plan. Then we can just kind of run the wire through. Power. Can't run it directly there. Come out there and then down. That's going to annoy me because that's not lined up right. Huh. Unless we get rid of this smart battery and then just put the power wire in nice and straight and neat. Then the power wire can go actually right down to these and we won't even need this bit here. Ah, that's even better. Perfect. That's what we're doing then. We're going to get rid of one smart battery. You can go. It does mean we'll have to figure out a different way of doing the wattage sensor or something then, if we're going to wire this straight into the main grid. Yeah, goodbye. I thought you would. She's off. She's off. There. We'll see if this now copes, because it's now only got, well, not quite 20,000 steam pressure in here, so this might actually not cope very well with it. I wish it would go higher than that, but it just doesn't, so never mind. I think as it builds up, the temperature builds as well. We're actually already getting power out. I know the aquatuner's kicked in, so that will be adding temperature. How much water did we end up in within? 1,650 kilos. Look out that room. That's a lot of water to remove. Yeah, I wish I had a pressure sensor that could see like much higher pressures. But I can't see any other way of doing it. We could do a thermo sensor and just say, right, if it's like over a certain temperature in this room, then run. Because then you'd know that this was erupting at that point. It's quite nice to watch as it erupts. Reaper puts it on the rack and it's coming out already like 400 or 500 degrees. When it drops out, it is dropping out at a huge temperature. These things are probably going to overpower then, are they? They're going to overpower? I don't want them to. 743 and 700. Please stop. Yeah, no, it stopped. I think that's it. It's big. It's a combination between this aquatuner running at the same time, and that is going to happen. So, you know, we've got to make sure it works. And it seems to be handling it just about. Yeah, that's not bad. That was on 650, and that was on over 7. Well, it was 750, but it's dropping. And this should now be idle erupts again in 1.4. And that was a good test because that is running at the same time. So that is creating more heat in this room. And how did we do? Bad, actually. When she finishes this pipe, we can start adding some resin to the system. And we didn't melt the tungsten tamer. Well, that's nice. I named it, will it melt? I don't know. Will it melt or will it not melt? And the problem with running this power directly to these two, instead of going through its own transformer, is you're not really going to be able to use the wattage sensor to do it. Because this is always going to have power. It's going to have power from other things, like hydrogen generators, and like that in it. Right? Right. So now I want to run this over here and connect to these, don't I? I want to run it over the top. Run it underneath. Boom, like that. Deconstruct the top bit. We'll see. Where's this powering? This is powering our Atmos suits and all this section up here. Now we need our bridge. Put back. Oh, we can't put it there. There's a bloody door in the way. Who put a bloody door there? Right, when this goes dormant, and over pressure, Oh, no. When that goes dormant in 50 odd cycles nearly, we can pump this to a vacuum and then we can come in and move the door somewhere else. I think the door could do with being up here. I don't want it touching one of these like metal heavy watt joint plates. That's bad. Pick up a lot of temperature out of the door to there. And that'll ruin our liquid lock. Unless we could send over a decent liquid lock instead of using resin. It's working right here. Okay, come, hurry up. Oh, she's going to get some more. See, the problem with her running backwards and forwards, they usually only pick up enough of the material that you've told them to pick up. Do like 4 pipes or something. Maybe, I think it's 4. Whereas if you tell them to pick up enough to fill a storage bin, then they can carry their maximum weight limit that they can carry, which is like nearly 2 tons or something. If you use the skills, if you use improved carrying, that adds 2 strength, which is 400 carrying capacity, 400 kilos. So that's 800 for that. I don't think it adds, like, it's not 800 plus 400. I don't think so anyway. And this adds 2 strength, and that adds 2 strength, and I think that might add another 2 strength. I don't think so. No, it doesn't say it does. So yeah. Liquid pipe going in. We will have to send a signal up when the power is running. How are we going to do that if we change this? It's not going to work, is it? We could put our liquid lock back there as long as we actually run this through it to keep it cool. I think it would be okay, wouldn't it? Yeah, maybe. Right, we'll try it. Go boom through there like that and then cancel any pipe over builds. And go back to liquid there. Come on. And snip that off. Let that flow down and then we'll deconstruct you. Problem was I didn't really want to cool down the temperature from this constantly going. As that means we're now cooling down. Yeah, it's going to draw a lot of heat from that. Not a brilliant plan. Well, we'll wait until it goes dormant and vacuum it out. Then we'll try. So my question now is, we know we can get a reading from this wattage sensor when this is running. Actually, we can't. It says it's not running again. That's not brilliant, is it? I think it's because I'm not actually using any of the power, look, from 4 kilojoules. If we put in the ceiling light right there again, that in as fast as you can. Please put that in before that starts using power again. Would be very useful if you would put that in right now. Then we can see if that actually works. Well, that's not using power. Yeah. Is that actually going to sense anything? It's sending... No. No power. Oh, this is turned off. Okay, fair enough. Okay. I think it worked just for a brief second there. So, just having that there... I'll actually use the suppress thing. That's annoying. But yeah, I think it worked just for a brief second. So as long as we put our power from these through a transformer into this grid, then we could do that. We could still use a transformer. We'll just use heavy watt wire. I'd rather bring the heavy watt wire around the back than the front, because the whole point of tucking it in the edge here, keep the nasty, ugly wire as far back as possible. I think it has a range of like 6 tiles or something. Negative value heavy watt joint plate. So if you come right out to here, you're still getting heavy watt conductive wire. You go one more tile, it's gone. So I think that's 5 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 5. Yeah. So I was trying to keep it tucked to the back as much as possible so that the nasty wire isn't in view. I mean, it's going to have to come out to there, isn't it? Got to. Can't see any other way of doing it. Unless we move that back. No, I'm not doing that. Get rid of those 3. We can run that across the top at least. Run that along there. Yeah. It's getting snarky now, isn't it? And, it's too much power. I can't cope. Okay, fine. What we can do is bring the power in through this tile here, or maybe this tile. Did you get... The Draco stuck in the wall. We try and put one of those. Can you overwrite that with it? You could come in there. Yeah, that's all right. Comes in where right where the poop comes. The pee pop comes out. Okay, fair enough. That's all right. I don't mind that. I want to put in a liquid pipe. Right along there, please. Yeah. Well, it doesn't have to be sedimentary rock. You can build it out of anything. Whatever. Build it. We need to know when that's running. So we need to know when this is running. Oh, we've got power again. Oh, that's because that's running. Oh, well, that's no, that's not that bad. Right. What I want to do is similar to what we did in this weird system here, where we drop the stuff down here. It's taken absolutely decades to get this stuff out of here. So it can cool down. And then this timer runs down. Once that's run out, it triggers the sweeper to come on. But it also starts this counting down in the process. So the sweeper sweeps out, and by the time the sweeper's finished clearing it out, that's counted down to 0, resets the timer, the conveyor meter. Instead of using a conveyor meter, we could use a plumbing, the liquid meter valve, or we could just use a shutoff. Yeah, plumbing, just use a shutoff. We just need a liquid shutoff. Could do something like that over here. Oh, not there, over here. So that it only opens for a short period of time to allow a little bit of liquid. And then when that drops in, we'll use the Atmos sensor that says there's too much pressure in here, because the resin would have dropped in, would have been turned into isoresin and water and steam. The steam will increase the pressure, turning this green, which will turn that on to pump out the excess, but also will reset the counter, allowing more resin to be sent down. Ah, he makes it sound so simple. It's easy. Easy, I'll tell you. This is running, but this is actually being used. This power is being consumed. So I'm not sure if this is only going to run when the power is being consumed, or if it is, that's not good for us. We need to know the power is being generated, not when it's being consumed. And plus, this light makes flipping heat. Or it didn't. So I'm going to bring this into there. Dig out 2 more of those. Yeah. She should be getting up now, so she should be nearly ready to do it. Power. Right, we need power. Yes, we do, Captain. We need power, Captain. What we're going to do is we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to run heavy wire through those 3. We've got conductive wire. Made of tungsten, no less. You know what? We'll make it out of tungsten because it seems appropriate, you know? Make that out of heavy wire. can we push that liquid back to that spot there? Huh. We probably can. Without having to mess around too much. Hey, tungsten. Might as well use it. We made it. We made it happen. We can use it for our advantages. Okay, perfect. It's slowly getting replaced. Yeah, I think I do want the large power transformer putting power on. But we'll just change it to a heavy watt wire and move it under here somewhere instead, so it's actually a bit better. Pity these didn't line up. I didn't quite realise just how many of these power transformers we'd end up using. We couldn't use the little one, the baby one. It only does 1,000, and this has the potential to be more than 1,000 watts. Potentially. Well, I think it's running. It's handling it, even though it's only got 20,000, less than 20,000 grams water in it. And what we could do is we could have one of these run into here all the time, and the second one is the one that gets sieved out. It needs to sieve any out instead of sieving both of them out, which seems to be a little too much because that's gone down a bit low. It's only 19 kilos of pressure. If I click on that, it's just over 19. So by the time that turned that off, it didn't actually put enough water back in to make that back up to 20. It's lost another 1,000 grams, which it won't get back. Not getting that back unless more resin drops in. We could just attach this one permanently to there, and this one is the one that gets vented out, so then it won't be venting out quite as much, quite as fast. Is that a good idea or is that a bad idea? I don't really know yet, because I'm not sure how much steam is going to come off of this resin. I did read it somewhere, but I'm not entirely sure now. Oh, look, we've got a little bit of resin. It melted. We made a liquid lock down here, guys. Yes, hello. Right, so we're going to play... Oh, we can't. How are we going to do that then? I'm just going to deconstruct that. Boom. Hey, make sure it's that and not the liquid pipes or anything. Cancel that. Just do the conductive wire, please. Yes. Just do the conductive wire. That'll cause them to not get any power for a little while, but that's fine. Use a bit of tungsten to plug into there. And oh crap, can they? Yeah, they can get through. Kind of have to put them low because they're underneath the neutronium. Can't delete the neutronium. Well, tricks to do it, but yeah, I don't want to be doing that. Let's mop that bit up there. What we got in there? Balm lily. Okay, have a balm lily. These all look like they're ready to pop. Ah, good. We can put our tile back. Very much. Good pipe has been put into position. Now I need plumbing. Which one do I use? The shut off? Yeah, I think so. Just the shut off, like that. And I want to attach it. This bridge. Ceramic bridge, no less. Okay. I won't allow any liquid to come through. Not yet, anyway. Because it needs automation to run. It has to have the automation, otherwise it won't run at all. That's where we were going to take it from this, but this seems to be rather temperamental. sending a red signal because this is 4 kilos, 4 kilojoules. But, oh, it's going green again now. This is weird. Why are you not... It's only when this is being consumed that this actually drops. What we basically need then is something coming off of here with something like a light, anything off the edge here, and the sensor put into that. A bit dumb, if you ask me. Because we could put the sensor the other side of it, but then we'll be reading when other things are running off of it, whatever it powers. It goes into the system and it will be powering everything. It will just be adding power to the group, to the main bus, so to speak. Now what do I want to do? I want to attach that to this, and I want to attach this. So I want to deconstruct. Now I'm not going to do it now. It's really late actually. I've left it a bit late in the day to do it. Automation wire. I want to send a signal to this thing. Come out of here, onto the ladder and down. I'm not going to connect it yet. I need to add some kind of delay or buffer delay. That'll be like a... similar to what we did over there, but with a... which one is it? A filter gate. As it only lets a green signal through if the input is green for long enough. So if we use one of those, if this just pops on and pops off again for some random reason, then it won't trigger. But if it triggers, I want it to only trigger. But oh no, I need it to be reset, don't I? That's why I was going to use the other one. I was going to say it'll only allow a certain amount of liquid down, and then we would reset it once this... where is it? Once this goes green again, that would send the reset signal to reset it again. Once it goes red again, actually, yeah, because that would say, hey, we've taken out as much steam as we needed to from the system. Pressure is back to what it should be. So that turns off. Yeah, I should probably need a NOT gate on this and send that up for that. That would reset it, allowing some more to come through. Maybe I do want to use the valve. I'm going to put them both in next to each other so I can decide, because I can't really think how I could do it. Do they both need power? Yeah, they both need power, so we can do that. When she gets up, I want to quickly redo this bit here so that we can attach this spine to this thing and to the generator. I think the generator is idle because I've messed up its automation. Oh, it goes to this battery here. This battery is chocker full of power, so it doesn't need to run. Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, I don't think this 2 kilowatt wire is really helping spread the power out very well. Look at it. It's going wrong. That one's off. All of this stuff is turning off. Ugh, that's terrible, because that means if food was being sent to us, it might hit anywhere because the beacon's not on. I think it matters at the moment when the food was fired, not when it gets here. If there's a beacon when it's fired, it will land there where the beacon is. We definitely need to sort this power situation out. I'm going to drop all this to a 6. Sort this out, because this needs doing. Power wire, please. Deconstruct. This crap. Yeah, we'll deconstruct that for now. Yep, we'll get rid of that. That's just the power from the solar panels. We're going to bring that down from here instead. So we're going to deconstruct this wire. This bit can all go. It will deconstruct that wire to there. All of that wire can go. We'll lose some power for a little while, but priorities need to be this section here. You come and do this bit. Yep, that's good. That needs to be done on a high priority, please. Yep, that steel that you just dropped is all in little tiny 25k packets, so you need quite a lot of it. Then build it back up. Come on, but no. Oh, didn't have enough. She's going to do one 25k bit at a time. Just to bloody tease me. Now it's running. There we go. Straight up to 4k. Beautiful. Beautifully done. Thank you very much. This is powering up here. That doesn't make much sense. Why is this one powering all this? This one's powering all that. Whatever. Okay, right. Now, we've done that bit. We can also connect that. That needs doing. What else can we do? We need to connect this one to it, right? So we're going to deconstruct this bit. Excellent. How do we get to it? Because we got this bloody wire in the way. Bloody wires. Yeah. I think that's going to be changed later. Can't put it there where it'd be neatest, because it can't attach to where the door is. Yep, that would be good. Grand. Do all of that. Yep, build that. Build it. Go on, go on, go on. Yeah, well done. Now that can kick in and start helping. Add some power. Nice. Nice. And we can put another one of those in underneath later. Once all this is cleaned up. What a mess of wires. I'm thinking of making this one run the Atmos suits and this section up here. This one. It makes sense. It's the top one. It's the closest to it. And then this one can just connect to this line and run whatever's on here. Right. Now we can get rid of this conductive wire bridge. You can go. That bit of wire can go. Ah, cleaning up. Lovely. Deconstruct you as well. Come on. Get all that done. Come back, wherever you are. Where's she gone now? Run off. Oh, all of this is out of power at the moment. It's not going to chunk out because it's all out of power at the minute. Hello? Can someone help me? Need to put some power on the system. That needs to go. I'm going to get rid of all of this, I think. That needs to go. Yep, please do that. That can now be connected to the grid. Awesome sauce. Excellent. Is that a proper big wire? Heavy conductive? Yes, it is. Awesome. Pick up all that steel. Yeah, we've used a load of it. Crikey. We must have used over 20 tons now. I can't remember exactly how much we bought. Bought 5 tons, and we bought another 10, and then we bought 20. Oh, where are you going now? There's some more in here. Yeah, there's more steel here. Yep. 2, 4, 5. Is there any more? Yeah, there's loads. Okay, good, good, good. We could use tungsten, couldn't we? Should have used tungsten. It's nearer. Down here. Dropping it on the floor. Never mind. We can overwrite it later. I just want to get it powered up. Things is happening here. We need stuff working. Now this needs to be done next. Please do it before we go to bed. Right? Right. Good. Power. Tungsten. Yeah, we use the tungsten. On a 9, use that tungsten. She's grabbing the steel and building that wire, so that's handy. Okay, grab the tungsten. Might as well use it. We're making it. This wire is all over the place, but we'll sort it out. We'll sort it out. Ah. Yeah, I'm thinking of actually building, pumping all of this polluted water into tanks and just storing it in case it's necessary for some reason. Right. Okay, excellent. We're not getting any solar power at the moment because this is now disconnected from the grid. So we're reliant on our hydrogen generator to provide us with power. But we would be getting some power from this if we wired it up right. Which I'm tempted to do now. Let's get rid of that piece there. And we can wire this into the grid, can't we? Yeah, we can. We would have to use tungsten will be fine. How should we do this? To there? No, I want to run it through that signal thing. Like so. Then we can just go straight to the grid with it if we wanted. And we could come up there and go in like that. Yeah, that should overwrite that wire with any luck, shouldn't it? Yeah, conductive wire, steel, heavy what conductive wire. Okay. That bit can be an 8. Do that bit first. Excellent. What's run out of power now? Oh, the aqua tuner. Yeah. You need the aqua tuner running, else everything will get too hot. If everything gets too hot, we're screwed. We definitely need the aqua tuner running. And yeah, we can put another battery somewhere. I'm sure we can run this with the batteries a bit better than that. We'll probably do it down here a bit. Move down one, and then we can put a row of batteries in. Yeah, I think that'll look better. I don't want the conductive wire this way, so we'll probably move that so it goes around the other way. But just to get it running, it seems legit. What's gone wrong now? You keep running out of power or something? Yeah, it's running out of power. We're not producing enough. Keep the cooling loop running. Well, we definitely need the solar panels in then. That's definitely a thing. We definitely need the power from those. We're missing it. We're not making enough. Let's set that to 10 kilos. I want to click this resin and check on if there's a... So it makes gas and resin. Does it say the percentages? The percentages. Can be polymerized into isoresin by boiling away its excess moisture. So we've got isoresin made from isoresin and petroleum in the molecular forge makes viscogel. What we need to see is the other one. We go down to in solid. Doesn't say. Used in the production of isoresin. Isoresin and abyssalite and reed fiber makes insulation. That's what we want, insulation. I'm sure I read somewhere how much percentage-wise it is of steam. I think it's like 3/4 isoresin and 1/4 steam or something like that the other way around. Probably the other way around, actually. Not entirely sure. Yeah, I think a good plan would be to drop in another one of these if we can fit him in somehow. That one's a bit taller, isn't it? Yeah, it is. More space on that one. This could be a bit awkward. Yeah, fitting everything in. Would be nice to do that with 2 of those. Whoa. Hello. My screen's gone white. It must be saving the game. Yeah, it is. I will switch my fan on. I hope it's not too noisy. I bought a USB desk fan that said it was silent. Yeah, right. Okay, you're far from silent, pal. Might send it back tomorrow. I'll see how it sounds on the stream. Obviously, I can't blow it too close to me because it will get on the microphone and make a horrible noise. Right. Sound like I'm in a whirlwind. Come on, Ellie. It's time you woke up, innit? We've got these clean hydrogen vents pumping out. We've got no hydrogen. Come on. You've got no power. We could have, like, loads of these running, I think. The amount we're getting. How much do these pump out? That one's 113. And what's this one? 114. Okay. How much do these things use? 100 grams a second. And that's producing more than 100 grams a second, and so is that. So we can run at least 2 and still be making hydrogen. Yeah, that was useful. Useful. Come on, come build things. We need things built. Was that actually sending a red signal? Yeah, because no power is being consumed out of this thing. Not going anywhere. That's a bit stupid. Right, now it's going somewhere. Right, okay, that'll be adding to the power now that we're getting in, which might help this to not keep stopping. But we do need to get our power somehow from here. So, here. Without going through here. Or here. We can go through here if we want to. I think we're going to have to. I don't think there's any other way of doing it. We're going to have to go like that. We're going to have to go like... That's horrible, isn't it? I don't really want that going through. There's no other choice. Where else are we going to put it? It could go down the side here, couldn't it? Yeah, it could go down the side and come in the bottom here. Well, we might do that later. But for now, you're in space. There's nothing you can do. No one can hear you scream. Let's just do it. Deconstruct all of this crap. And that can go as well. And that. Where you going? You going up to destroy that? Yeah, that's now going, oh, there's no wire. Alright, power. Let's have a heavy watt conductive wire. We will make it out of steel. Go to there. And we'll go to there. Will mean you'll need a ladder. Because you can't reach. Okay, good. Excellent. That I'm also going to block. We make that out of steel. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Alright. Okay. So instead of that one, what I think I want instead of the shut-off, because that'll act like a shut-off. It'll only let through what it's said to let through until it gets the reset. We get rid of this. Shut-off. Get rid of you. Move that down there. No priorities on this. That light. When you're coming in, unless you've got to, you can use the steel that's up there. Is there a bit of we can't reach? Yeah, there's a bit there that you can't reach. Cancel that. Stay there forever. Yeah, there's steel in here you might have to come and get. Whatever. Yeah, she did. Go and grab that steel. Oh, that's no longer powered because the power wire was going directly through it. And these solar panels. Might be a case later on we'll run the power wire down here. Down past this and come in from where the batteries are, wherever we end up putting them. They're going to move from there because that looks weird. Poor old Draco never got a chance to escape, did he? We can't even wrangle him out of there. guess we can attack him out. Now where are you going? Get some more steel? Probably. Oh, igneous rock. What do you want with igneous rock? Oh, to build the ladder. Okay, fair enough. Then we'll have to run that up through there, which means that needs a bridge there. We need another bridge. Right there. Any place I can think of doing it. If we'd known we were going to do it, we would have put it in here. We didn't know that that's what we were going to do, so that's what happens. Those circumstances. There's steel lying around. Take what you need. Pick it all up. Carry it away. Excellent job. Good job. Yeah, 'cause this looks all weirdly squished in. I'd like 2 lines like this size so that we can have the hydrogen generators and power right and above and below each other. I think that would look a lot neater. That would then line up with here. And this would have to come down and the batteries could come. Yeah, I think we'll slowly get it all worked out. In the meantime, you should have turned off and the water should be coming back in. I want to make sure that this doesn't pump out too much water too quickly. We'll keep an eye on our ambient pressure. It drops a bit while the steam is inside the steam turbines, turning into water and being sent back out. When it gets put back in, yeah, now it's down to 7, 15, 16. Yeah. Thinking maybe that is putting out too much water because there's quite a lot in the pipe by the time that switches on. All of this will go. I think we need a little bit more. That needs to be either closer to this point, either above it, right here somewhere. It doesn't waste too much water. The rest of the water in the pipe will always travel this way. Or we send one of them this way. Tempted to do that, actually. Tempted to do that. We'll prepare for it. Won't actually do it yet. We will prepare. That will go in like that. We'll snip that off. Get rid of that for you. You can snip that off there. Connect it into here. Make sure there is a little pipe there as well. And we'll connect that to there. And that way this one will always go into the room. This one will only go through here. So if this tries to take water out of the system, it's not going to take it out at 3,600 grams a second. Take it out at whatever that is, 1,000. It's supposed to be 2,000 each, isn't it? These things. At full power, I guess. What's the pressure like in this room? It's hovering around the 16, 17 mark. Not bad. And a chunk of tungsten's being sent out. That's good for us if we need to build anything. Right, power-wise. Nope, that's still not connected. And the tree's still eating food. Go, tree! We know you want to. And that thing can go. Right, let's go and double check. Yeah, she's chatting on the phone. Okay, while you're chattering, let's go and have a look in here. There's some sulfur being swept out at 48 degrees. Yeah, I don't think this is very effective. Not using the polluted water in here anyway. Like 14 degrees. But it is very passive. It's passive. It's not being powered by anything. It's just coming up here, running through this cold water. Pumping its heat into the cold water. Coming back through it like 6 degrees into the tank. If we made this a bit longer, we could probably get it a bit cooler, really. We could come out there and up and back. Yeah. I'll let them build that and then we'll attach it when we come back across and remember to do so. Get rid of all these old pipes. This old relic of the past can go. Yeah, I think the food has definitely been better since we've changed it to 10 kilos because I don't think we're making a huge amount yet. I think it seems like we are about balancing with this thing. It's dormant now, so the water level will drop. But I think we're keeping roughly. I'm keeping my eye on these ladders. And when these two tiles are gone, the water level will change a little. But it doesn't seem to be changing very much. We'll see. If we're using a lot, then we won't do it. But if we're not using much, we could consider putting another row of farms underneath. Ah, welcome back. Hope dinner was good. Dinner was. Deconstruct that and that temp shift plate. That's a point. Did we put one in? Yeah, we did. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Now that we brick this in so the water level can't go anywhere else but here, it's actually really helping. Although I don't think this system is actually sweeping it out fast enough. I think this is really building up in here. It's 17 tons there because this system is not sweeping it out quick enough. We need to increase the amount. Oh, Italian pizza. Oh, good. Proper pizza. Now like the stuff I buy. Barely be classed as a pizza. More like bread with stuff on it. Okay, right. They're getting on with that. Let's go back and check what she's up to, because I want to try adding some resin to this system and see if we can make it automate itself. If we can. Frozen pizza. Now, what I've got an idea of is this way we're putting power on, but if the power's not being consumed past this thing, this wattage sensor doesn't seem to do anything. So we need the wattage, the power to be being consumed by something past the transformer. But if it's going to other things, we don't want that. We want it to only come on when these are running. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of these, not a liquid pipe, yeah, muppet. I'm going to put one of these, just a baby one of these little ones. Stick that on the end here. Brick it out or something. Put it somewhere. Right. I'm thinking. We could put it wherever we bloody please, but it's always going to be in the way wherever we decide to put it. Power wise, we could run that down here, connect to the grid, right? But we'll also run a little piece of, yeah, okay, all right, yep. That means we don't need that. You can go. Oh, come on. Won't let me because I'm in the wrong screen. Okay, get rid of that. What we'll do, we'll power this directly to the grid, okay? What's the matter? Oh, combat. Oh, Ellie's murdering critters. Well, there's time for everything, Ellie. Can you do it all now? Deconstruct that. Now, power-wise, this now has to be connected down here. Get rid of that conductive wire there. Boom, you're gone. You're not gone yet. You're gone when Ellie decides you're gone, okay? This wire went really weird around here. We could probably tidy that up, but I'm really not fussed. Yeah, we could clear it out up a bit. Make this a lot neater wiring. Right, thank you, Ellie. Now we're going to connect that there. I just used tungsten. I may have done. It's fine if I did. It's fine if I did. We've only got like 700 tungsten left. Right, we'll power that down like that. And this is going to be a bit ugly. There's not a lot we can do about it. It's got to be connected here. And that brings the power from the solar down into the main grid, so to speak. A very big main grid, but it is our main grid. So when she's done that bit, that will take her a little wee while to get that done. We'll come down here, and what we're going to do, we're going to do this on a slightly lower priority. Oh, we've probably used up all our... Yeah, we've used all our steel here. We're going to put a joint plate there. Don't think... Yeah, we're going to, because this has to be the floor level, because there's... Can't go any lower. It has to be the floor level, doesn't it? So we'll use a joint plate. Make it on a lower priority, and we'll make it out of tungsten. Why not? Go there. What we'll do is we'll make that join to that and that join to that. Then we'll deconstruct these two. No, we'll deconstruct just one of those. We'll cancel that one. Priority all of this to say a 7, right? Good job, good job. Have a good sleep. Have a good rest. And we're going to move our light. I think if the light was this side, can't put it there, so I've got to put it here. I think if the light was this side, then this transformer would be actually powering something. Something that would consume power all the time whenever it comes on. And then we'll get an output from this wattage sensor, because it's actually consuming power. Even though it's only consuming 10 watts, it is consuming power. So, because we can't guarantee on anything else definitely running. If we're powering a light, it will always come on. Something's been ejected from the system, because I just saw that move. Just bobbed up and down to put some on. It could be topping up one that wasn't quite full. It didn't have the full 20 kilos. Well, it will top it up to the full 20 kilos. Is this going to overpower? I hope not. No, it seems to be balanced. That's not bad. And all the water's flowing this way at the moment. But have you done up here already? Oh. Oh, you have. Oh, that's... Hang on. Why's that got a no power consumers symbol on it? That should be coming down. Oh, there's one bit there that hasn't been done. Cancel that. Why did you not build that wire then? Did you run out? Run out of steel, maybe? Make it out of that then. Priority that to a 9. And we can cancel the priority 8. Be an overwrite. Yeah, well, we can keep it. It's fine. I don't mind making stuff out of tungsten. We're gonna have loads of it. Oh, don't do that. She was gonna build my thing for me. We gotta power it, because you're gonna run out of suits if you don't get your power going. You're gonna run out of suits, yeah. Well, she's gonna go to the rocket to get her lunch. We still haven't sorted out the food situation here. I'm tempted, I'm very tempted to put a door here and a sweeper there and just set that to a little bit of bog buckets. Or mushrooms. It can be either bog buckets or mushrooms. And if this is a pneumatic door, the sweeper can grab it and shove it in the fridge, and she'll never be in danger, theoretically. How do you shove that in your face with the visor on? Like, you can talk on the phone and you take your visor off. Answer me. Tell me that. We want sweetles? Oh, yeah, we do. Hell yeah. We want sweeter legs. We're going to tell this one that drops straight down. Make sure it's the correct one. Yeah. We're going to tell this one to go critter egg. Sweeter leg. It's going to take those sweeter legs, pop them in there. And they're going to drop in this room. Ah, crap. Don't pick them up. Leave them alone. Leave those eggs alone. Hey, Leave those eggs alone. Where's the other one gone? Oh, it's there. So they'll take ages to hatch because, you know, incubation, they're wild. They'll take bloody ages to hatch. But when they do, they'll live their entire life in here. And they might, you know, even lay another egg before they die. In which case the generation will keep on going. And this can be set to sweep out eggshell. Which it probably is, because it looks like I've set it to sweep out everything in the universe. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Right, is this running now? What's going on? We're now putting power on the system. The wattage sensor is sending a green light because we're running a light bulb. Oh, that's a way around it. We're not using that to power anything else, just the light bulb. So we know that these are running because the voltage sensor says so. We're not using much power. As long as it's green, it's green. That's what we needed to know. So that will trigger this thing. Well, we need to move it down a bit. Where does that go? Hang on. Is that the wrong type? That's the liquid one, isn't it? Yeah, that's the liquid one. I want the one for shipping. No, hang on. I do want the one for liquid. But I want the one for... Right, how are we going to do this then? No, don't... Yeah, cancel it. I want it moved down. It's got to go there. What are we making it out of? Steel and plastic. Okay, fair enough. This is quite cool. It seems to come out about 35 degrees from the tree, so it's not bad. Right, what I'm going to do then is... That's got to be powered, which it already is. Okay, good. We need this. Problem is, this is going through the reset, and we don't want it to go through the reset. Reset's got to come from this. That's the one that says how much is in here. How much steam pressure is in here. So that can say, once it's chucked out a certain amount of water, then it would send a signal up to reset this, which isn't good because it's resetting itself. Get a liquid. Yeah, it's not connected to anything, is it? No. Can it go anywhere? And I don't think that is powered anyway. You powered? No, you're not powered. So it can't do anything because it's not powered anyway. So we'll have to do something with the power wires because of all this crap. Yeah. A lot of potential things that could go wrong here. I also want to to deconstruct these wires here. And we'll get the metal back for them, which is nice. Which means we don't have to send any more over, crikey. We're just going to power this one with a bit of tungsten. Going to do that. There we go. We need that running, otherwise we can't fix our suits. Can't fix our suits, then we could potentially get stranded. It needs worn atmos suits. As far as I can tell, there's... Well, that one's a good one. That's not worn. Okay, fair enough. So, right. What we're going to try to do is this signal's going to come from this wattage thing. Going to come up. What we're going to do is we're going to go over the top. We're going to use steel for this. Come on. And that will take over on that one instead, I think. That'll be easier. That'll go from there up to this one. But we're going to snip that off. That says... Oh, hang on. That's a sensor green. So hang on. Cancel. Ah, well, that's not telling it to run. This tells it to... Okay, right. Yeah. That gives out a signal. We don't need to give out a signal. We just need to set a reset. So this can be cancelled. We need to go. Right, okay. This runs. It only... okay. But this does need to power it, but we can't power it with these. We can reset it with this, but we can't power it with this. We need to tell it when to run. There's a couple of ways we could choose to do that. We could have it linked to a... We could have it linked to a liquid shutoff. So we would have our fluid coming out only when it's told to, and that could link to that one. And that would only send liquid out when it's supposed to. That would be quite awkward to put in, but we could do it. I think we could probably dig these two tiles out and climb through. Install that. I think that's a good idea, actually, before this gets to another level here. That. We could simulate that and maybe run out some of this resin. Yeah, we could do that. So we would have a shut-off here that turns off. But you'd still get a little amount in the pipe. That's annoying, isn't it? This will say, yes, there's enough temperature. That means this is running. There's enough wattage being used. This is running. That means the volcano is erupting. So you can send some down. And that would then set... What would we control? Oh, I know what we could do. The other way to do it would be to turn the power off to it. Can't run if it hasn't got any power. So we would power it from above instead. Snip that 10 watts off. Come up from above. That's the other way you could do it. Like that. And then use the power shut-off. Would go... I don't suppose it needs to be anything exciting, does it? Could be gold amalgam. Right there. So now we've got a way to turn the power to this on and off with automation. That would work. We would send the reset, that'll be the reset. That'll be the other one. This would be this one. Yeah, okay. I'm getting you. That goes to there. This one would go to there. Right. So when this says there's too much pressure, it's above the 220,000. Do not send any more resin. That would turn the power off. Oh, we could do it. When it drops down below the 20,000, we'd then send a reset to that to turn it on and allow a little bit more resin to come through. We won't do much, just like small packets. Just to test it anyway, just like 10k or something. Yeah. Because that's confusing. That's actually giving out an output. So 5 kilos. 5 kilos of resin. I don't even think that might make enough steam to actually cause any difference. We might have to increase that. Yeah, we'll increase it. We'll make it 10. Make it 10. I don't know. It won't add a lot of steam pressure to the room, I shouldn't have thought. 10 kilos. But then that'll come down here. Come down, drip into the room. This will get cooked into isoresin and it will make more steam. The steam then has to will go above that, and when it drops below it, we need it to send a reset to send some more. Okay. Now, how are we going to do the reset? The same as we did on the other one with a was it with a filter gate? Made of tungsten, no less. I'm going to put the filter gate up here because I might need to do some dangling. I'm going to snip in there because when you put it over the top of the wire, it doesn't automatically cut the wire for you. And that can be quite confusing. You can get stuck for ages wondering why your system's not working. Right. So, if this works how I think it should, this one will turn the power. When it knows that the power is being used, it will send out a green signal. Right? So it's above 10 watts. We know that something's being used, something's being powered. So this will turn the power on to this, which will allow this to run. This will then send it's 10k and turn off, or whatever you set it to. I'm in that wrong screen for that. Right, it will send whatever you've set it to. And that liquid will then be allowed to flow. It will flow down here, and it will ultimately end up in the room on top of the aqua tuner. So, then, once the steam pressure is reduced to the right amount, because this will be green, which means this will go green as well. So we need a NOT gate, don't we? Yeah, because this will go over and this will go green, and we don't want it green just yet. We want it to go green in this situation when it's below. So I think we need a NOT gate as well. That's interesting. Okay, we'll try it. We'll try it. We can always remove it if it doesn't work right. We'll use a NOT gate. Won't put it too close. You can put it right up like that, but I think I'll leave a bit of a gap. Remember to cut the wire. And if this all works, it should put in the amount of resin that we said automatically. And the extra steam will be dropped out of the system automatically. Then we'll probably pump that through here and just drip it into this room and let the rocket exhaust turn it to steam and send it to space. Or we could run a long pipe all the way up and just drop it into the atmosphere as space, and that would be gone, got rid of the extra water. You could use the extra water, obviously, if you needed it. We do need a certain amount of water because we need to keep the toilet system going. As long as we've got polluted water in our liquid loop, our cooling loop. Okay, right, yeah. Let's see if this is actually going to work. We'll build that one. Right, there is tungsten being loaded into the system, power being generated by the system. The wattage thing would be currently telling this to be powered. Better snip that just in case that wire gets built. I don't want that powered just yet. Our liquid pipe is set up and ready. I do think we need power on the pump. Now, I think the power on the pump looks bad because this power line is like going to take it over. But don't forget, there's a lot of things here that very rarely ever run. Like this will only ever run when she's on break and using it. So it's not going to run any other time. Get that bit of steel back. That's good. All of these things, nope, they're never going to run, are they? These only run when there's harvest to be done. So I think we're quite safe to put this pump on this grid, even though it's going to technically go over the limit. Right, can you get your bloody furry bottom out of their way? I'm going to put a bit of drop off in this room. And I'm going to see if she can wrangle you up. She probably can't, but we're going to see. Get you wrangled the hell out of here. Right. Check this. This needs to be set to something. I'm not sure what yet. Because I'm not sure what, I'm going to set it to 60 seconds. Just to give it a boost. A long boost. I mean, that's going to reset it for 60 seconds, which is wrong. We need something to slow it down or something. But right, what I need to do, when this first goes green, that's going to make that go red, which is going to turn this off. So yeah, because that's going to flip. Okay, so that's on now. That is saying yes, we can have some. If this was connected, that would be now flowing. Right? Oh, there's a worn Atmos suit. You better repair it. Well done, Ellie. You're doing your work. I'm going to suppress that because I don't want to keep seeing that every time. So if we connect that now, what's going to happen? This is going to fill up with resin all the way up to here. Isn't it? Yes, it is. Do we want it to do that yet? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So I'm going to connect this wire. That is going to now pump to there. Can't pump to there because that is sealed up. That all set up? Is the wire all set up? I'm not doing the reset yet, so that is technically constantly resetting, isn't it? Don't like that. Okay, I'm going to move this NOT gate down. I'm going to put it down here somewhere a bit further down. So I can put in a buffer in between. I can put a buffer there instead. I think we can stop it being on all the time, and it'll just be on for a short period, whatever we set the buffer to. Not the buffer. Oh, that's not the buffer. Now that's gone crazy because the wire hasn't been snipped. Now it's snipped. There we go. Now, if you can power that, build that buffer for me. Set the buffer to say, I don't know. So if that goes on, pumping out water, this will be, hang on, is that wrong? That's the wrong way down. We need a NOT gate on it or not? That's green, that's pumping out water. When the green turns off, we want that signal to pass through to here to restart it, don't we? I don't think that's right. I don't think that's exactly how I wanted it to be. This will go green. It will stay green, won't it, if we flip it? It's going to stay green like this, isn't it? Yeah, for ages. Well, the next bit of resin drops in and makes it overpressured again. Ah. Okay. I'm thinking, my brain is working, so 10 k's of resin comes down, gets dropped into the machine cooks it up, gets the extra steam from it. The steam pressure goes over, starts pumping out, and when it stops pumping out, we want this to send the signal to reset it. Stops pumping out. So what we need to do, go and check what we did over here, because I think it's very similar. This, what happens? Signal comes through to there. That runs for 90 seconds on the buffer. Okay, and then it's flicked to a NOT gate. Right, and then the NOT gate is flicked to the... Alright, so we've got a buffer to a NOT gate to the filter. So I kind of want to do that again. That filter doesn't need to be very long, does it? Because it's only just to reset that, really. So I think I've done it the wrong order. I shouldn't have moved that down. Yeah, the knot should be in the middle. So not the wire, cancel the wire. I want to destroy the buffer gate. I want to destroy the NOT gate. Switch them around. Put the NOT gate. Oh. Didn't you finish it? I don't think you did. Did I destroy the wire or something? It said, what did I do? Oh. I hate it when you accidentally delete the wrong thing. I think she's going to break, so that buffer gate needs to be deconstructed. I think she just didn't do it all. Now it's got the symbol back next to it, so I know what I'm doing. That's got to be set to, yeah, just critters, please. And yeah, she's going to have her lunch. Crap. Okay, we're going to miss this one again. When does it go dormant? 61 cycles. It runs quite frequently then. Crikey. How long is it dormant for when it goes dormant? 77 cycles every 133. Crikey, it's dormant for like 60 cycles then. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. And we have been using a lot of the material. It's been dropping out. A lot of the tungsten. We've been using it to replace our wires and pipes. And how about the cooling loop? We need to add anything? Not yet, we don't. I think we're all right at the minute. Oh, we could add one there, couldn't we? I have written over that one. Yeah, you can have a radiant pipe or something. Well, this is still powering this. I think it's because it's being powered through here, isn't it? That's not going to work then, is it? Because this is always going to be running now. Ah, crap. That's not going to help me then. I don't think that's going to help me at all. This wattage sensor isn't going to work. The only way we could make the wattage sensor work then would be if we said, if we just cut one of these off of the grid, so only one of them is feeding power for this, then we could use the wattage sensor. Other than that, we need to wait until it's dormant, bust back in here and change this atmos sensor to a temperature sensor, or just add a temperature sensor to the room so we can use that. I think I'd like to keep the atmos sensor so that this system can chuck water out when we don't need it anymore. That's fair enough. But what I'd probably do is move that to there and wire it straight up there, and then put the thermo sensor here so we could connect it this way. We could use a thermo sensor to tell this power to shut off or to turn on when it's hot enough in this room. It will only be hot enough in this room if the volcano is erupting or if the aquatuner is on. We'd set it to a temperature that's kind of like just off, so that we know that these are running. Because I'd like to use the power from this, but all that's happening is the power's coming through these and into that to run that, which isn't what I wanted. That's not right. So that might as well go, this bit. This is pointless. Section can go. Can all go. This one can go. Deconstruct it. Deconstruct that. Yeah, you can go now. Not wanted. Yeah. Rid of all of that. Get our materials back. That's nice. We're going to lose a few thousand watts, but that's not a problem. Don't care. Yep, I think that's good. I think that's nice. That means that we can spread this out better, and we can have that second hydrogen generator installed if we want. That way we'll make a lot more power. We'll have the power from these solar panels, power from 2 hydrogen generators, which appears that the calculated average output means we can run 2 and never run out of hydrogen, ever. Even if they were running non-stop all the time, we'd never run out. Is that set to all critters ever? If we wrangle this, will it? No, she doesn't have the wrangle ability. Ah. Yeah, she doesn't have the wrangle ability, so she can't do it. So she's just going to stand there with popped eardrums in her 5 kilos of pressure. And I think we'll also get rid of that. We'll also get rid of these ladders. Sorry. Nice. System is getting there slowly. So for now, instead of running it from the temperature in here, which I can't really figure out to do, I'm just going to put an override on it, which we'll do manually, which isn't brilliant, but Like to make it automated if I can, but not going to be possible until we can bust in there and put a thermosensor in. So now we're going to build a signal switch. We're just going to override it and we'll tell it when to add. That doesn't seem to work at all. Yeah, I tried to use the... it's not in here, is it? It was in the automation section. But the only way I can think of doing it, the proper way to do it, is the thermosensor in this room. Tried the wattage sensor. We could even do a cycle sensor and just say, well, once a day, drop in, say, 10 kilos. And if we know that roughly that's the amount of food we're sending over, that should keep up with the demand. Once a day, it'll allow 10 kilos to pump out. We could do it that way with a cycle sensor to give it a little bit of automation. But then that would pump in when this is cold, so it may not turn to Isoresin straight away until the aquatuner kicks in and runs again. But I think that temperature in there is probably enough to kick it to Isoresin. Might be. We could try that actually. We could go automation. Just for now, it won't be the permanent solution. I want to bust back in there when we've got a better liquid lock. We could probably make some visco gel or something here now. Bust back in there. About to run now. We could use a cycle sensor. Pop it there. Little bit of automation on it. Run it down like that. There we go. So we'll have a switch which we can override. I've not connected it to the shut off yet. So that is still off. We could just set this, say, I don't know how long it takes to pump out 10 kilos, but not very long. So we could just say once a day. For say, a little bit of the day, you're allowed to run. It won't run much anyway, because it'll be limited to whatever's on this. And then the reset from this can be automated. So what was it? The NOT gate was supposed to be in the middle, wasn't it? I did it before and it works quite nicely. So we have the buffer at the bottom. Buffer gate goes here. The NOT gate goes here. And then this gate, filter gate, just goes to whatever, 20 seconds or something. It doesn't need to be much. It's just there to reset that. Just there to click the reset. I think it's going to do it right now because it's running already when she's built that. This buffer is what's important. So we're going to set the buffer to... No. I don't know how long to set it for. So if this gets overpressured and this turns on for, say... No. Yeah, because that should turn that off. I think we might have to add another NOT gate to the system. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, we won't be able to tell until this drops in some more steam into the system. Let's do it. Let's add some steam into the system, but let's do it with our... Do it with this. You can connect to there. The liquid pipe can connect to this. This is all connected now, so this should allow 10 kilos to pass through. So 10 kilos should pass through, should it not? Or is it not reset? Maybe not then. Okay, we have to reset it. And we can reset it by clicking it and clicking reset amount. Or we can run it... Well, we'll reset it ourselves now. Can it run? Can it run? Can it not run? No power. Ah, it can't run because we've turned the power off. That's a good point. So it can only run when this is on. So speed this around now. And we can go a bit should. I'll have a little packet, just 10k's worth. Hey, how much are you letting through? That's not 10k, is it? 10 kilograms? That is lots of kilograms. Help. Don't do it. You stop now? No, not stopped. Right. That means this power needs to be sorted out. We don't want it. It shouldn't be being reset, should it? No. It is being constantly reset. That's the problem. The NOT gate is being constantly reset. Get rid of, because even that's putting out no, if we get rid of that yeah, get rid of the NOT gate for now. I'm confused. This is not working right. Come on. Oh crikey, what's going on? I'm gonna just snip that off. Let it run now. Okay, so it was running continuously because it was powered, and also the reset was being done. So it's dropping in and flashing to Isoresin and adding gas, adding steam to the system. So we should be seeing the steam pressure rising. Here we go, and that is automatically kicking in and chucking out some steam. Didn't run for long, but yeah. But it definitely got some extra steam and we kicked it out the system all automatically. Now it's running normally again. Yep, that worked okay. But when that sparked, that would have sent a green signal up here, which would have reset it and sent some more. I don't want it to send some more immediately. I want it to send some more, you know, after a bit of time, I guess. If it's just finished, then it could, couldn't it? No, I want it after. It needs to do after, not before. What I mean is, like at the beginning of the automation, it triggers, or at the end of the automation, it triggers. I need it to trigger after it's expelled the extra water and then turned off again. So I need this to go on, but I don't want it to trigger until it turns off. I don't think that's going to work properly like that. We need to wait for her to delete this NOT gate anyway, because it's permanently on. Wrong, I don't want it to be permanently on. We've made Isoresin though. We've actually made some Isoresin. So we can theoretically... Oh, it's already added to the thing. I didn't realise. Yeah, Isoresin's already added to that. It's already stacked it in there. So when there's a space for some Isoresin to drop out, at the moment it's all tungsten. But it'll have put the Isoresin on the thing now. So it'll be ready to drop. I don't think Isoresin will take long to cool down. It won't go through the system very much. There we go. There's something on the line, on the train. There's a bit of Isoresin there. 20 kilos of it. Aha! Something's leaving. The Isoresin's still going round. What's wrong with you? Still very hot or something. 130, so you should be kicked out now. When you get round here. I don't want one weird thing that never gets temperature right. Oh no, it's leaving, it's leaving. Yay! Our first bit of Isoresin chucked out of the system. Ah, that's beautiful. Look. Now, it's not fully automated yet, but yeah, we'll get there, we'll get there. So this was obviously running for way too long. It needs to be 1% of the day, you know. And then this needs to be, if that buffer, if that triggers for long enough. So if that chucks out some, 60 seconds might be too long. Make it reset, but we'll find out. Connect that. And we'll add some more just by running this round. It gets to there. That should automatically switch that on. Oh, it's not connected, is it? Should let some through. Who's entombed now? Oh, click there. Ah, right, okay, fair enough. That was a matter of time. I knew that would happen eventually, because when these doors open, something's going to drop in and land on it. That's just, you know, par for the course. We know that's going to happen. Because I can't put a piece of glass over it. I was going to put some glass over there to protect it. If you put glass over it, you can't shoot things across. So let's hope nobody gets shot by red bolts of doom. And someone gets there and clears that out before they get a red bolt in them. Let's go back to what we're trying to do here. I'm going to cancel you, and I'm going to open that door. And yeah, this is going to be a bit more trickier than I thought. We have got the ability to... Oh, yeah, we can't add any oxygen to this room unless we power that. That needs to be powered as well. Crikey! You're being powered off of... Well, you can be powered from that one. Okay. So, we sent a little bit more Isoresin down before the emergency alarms went off, and it's already probably swept it out. We never got to see that work. And I never got to see if my automation worked. I don't think it would have done. So, way to tell that would be to see whether this it got reset. I don't think it did. Let's set that to 10 kilos again and give that a quick if it's not been reset, then it won't run, will it? Is that it? 9 kilos. Okay, now it's got reset amount. 9 kilos is coming down here. That seems to be very odd, this meter control. It doesn't seem to actually put through what you tell it to put through. So that drops in the room. That is just sitting there as liquid at the moment. I don't think it's hot enough. Is it not hot enough? No, I don't think so. Not busting it to resin yet. I'll leave you watching that and I'll be right back. I am back. Thank you for your righteous indignation. And yeah, this is all off now, is it? Yeah, nothing's happening. Yeah, we definitely need to do something to do with temperature. I mop that away. You can go. Actually, probably the easiest way to deal with that droplet there is just to get rid of this tile. Goodbye, you. Okay. Ah, we've let some critters in here. That's nice. Rick, set it to auto. Will they escape? No, don't go to bed. Don't go to lunch. Don't leave town. Okay, right. Sorry, that was loud. Crikey. Loud even for me. Right, so that. Come down to here. We are slowly filling this tank up, so we're going to have to figure out a way to dispose of the excess water that we don't want. But if we can't do it from that, can we take a sensor read health? Power. Automation. This is now on. This is all on. Oh, crap. It's sending a green because it's over 20,000 pressure. And that stopped. See, I don't want it to stay like that. What I want to do then is build myself a pulse generator. Marvellous. Okay. Pulse generators are huge normally. Like what we could do is open a search engine. Other search engines may apply. And if you type in to your favorite search engine, if you type in useful automation gadgets, a result will come up from the forums Clay Entertainment. And they are hidden. You have to click to reveal them. And there are some useful generated pulse clocks and whatever in this. So what I need is I don't want one that just keeps going on, off all the time with an interval. I don't want one like that. I want one that just generates a pulse and stops. So yeah, we can take a... See, that's really big and bulky, but it does work. It's a pulse generator that I used in Lavini on the petroleum boiler of doom. Yeah, look at this. We're filling up. Even though we've got all of these running, that should be going down, not up. They're all running. They should all be on 100 out of 100. Yeah, they all are. That first one is just set. You know, it's not even got automation on it. Yeah, we used it here. It's this. Well, it's on its side, but it's this. That's what I used to make this door open and close for a specific period of time. You have 3 NOT gates and a buffer and an OR gate. And the 3 NOT gates work together to provide a pulse. Whatever you set as the pulse on the buffer, 0.6 seconds in this case, is however long this stays on for whenever this is pulsed. Now you can remove the NOT gate here and just put it straight into there if you wish it to pulse, I think, at the end when it turns off rather than when it turns on. We should be able to try that. Bit more complicated thing than I really wanted to use. But we could definitely try that and just make a pulse at the end when it turns off. Because this is still on, because it didn't quite pump enough out. And that wasn't very much resin. That was a tiny bit of resin. So now this is running again. That should now be able to expel what it should have expelled before. Yep, and drop the pressure down and that'll turn off. And then the water can come back in again. Yeah, that's funny. So because of the timing of that, it left that on all the time until it erupted again, which is bad for us. We need that to only pulse, a little pulse, once that's reset. Could we build that? We could build it. I mean, there's nothing stopping us trying it and seeing if it works, but it was a bit more complicated than I really wanted to use. Basically, we have two knot gates facing each other. We have another knot gate down here. Now that's a bit too close to that steam. Yeah, cancel that. Don't bother. A bit close to that to build it there. Where are we going to have to build it? Build it here. Yeah, there's lots of room here. Let's build it here. Not exactly how I wanted to do it, but hey, it will work. Or it might work. Who knows? Don't say will until you know. And we need an OR gate putting in. I don't know who to credit for the... Oh, that goes that way. That faces out. Then the way it's all connected together is your switch in is this one, which is why I built it on its side before, but I'm building it the same way it's on there. So this would come from here. This is our switch in. Right? That's where you would generate your pulse from. Then it goes, these, hang on, that's wrong. Got to deconstruct that one and rebuild it. I needed to rotate it and I didn't. That was a good one, wasn't it? Make sure that's correct. Crikey. So then that connects to there. We'll flip this around. It should have been this way around, like that. I didn't. Building things out of tungsten again, are we? Yes, we are. Then this knot gate goes into the OR gate there. This one goes through that and to there. Then this comes out here. And we can either take the output from here or from here, depending on which, whether you want it off or on. So we'll take it out from there at the moment, but I don't think that's what I want. I don't think it is. Deconstruct this bottom one. So, get all that built. And the buffer time, we can just set that to 1 second. All we want it to do is emit a pulse. When do we want the pulse? We want the... Actually, I'll set it to like 30 seconds so I can see when it's going easier. We want it to pulse at the end when it turns off, not when it turns on. I believe the way you do that... Right. We'll snip that off. We'll put another one of those switches. So we can manually pretend that we're doing the system. We're saying, okay, this has gone green now because it's pumping out water from the system. So the turbines are pumping water out. If the turbines are pumping water out, when they stop pumping water out is when we want it to send the pulse. And I think it's going to send the pulse now. I don't think it's going to send the pulse. That filter can be... Not that. Filter. Yep, you can go. Not necessary. Buffer gate. Come on, let me click. Thank you, buffer gate. You can go as well. You're not needed anymore. It can all be done by this one signal generator, pulse generator. Called a pulse former if you go to that website I described. So That is now on, right, isn't it? Yeah, I need to switch that off. Connect the wire. I want to see if this goes green immediately when I click this or after. Yeah, it's gone green immediately. Don't want it doing that, do I? So let's try removing, taking the signal from here. No, because that's already on. If you flip the signal before it goes into the pulse generator, then you get the if you remove this knot, see, that's on all the time, so it needs to be flipped to off, doesn't it? This is on all the time. If we deconstruct this NOT gate, let's see. Oh, she's not going to do it now. She's gone to bed. Darn. Low priority. Yeah. So if we remove that NOT gate and we just put the wire directly into here ourselves, then hopefully we can bypass that. I'm not sure. We'll see. We're going directly into the buffer arse. Yeah. Is that going to work? I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. Definitely see. So I do want to move these batteries down to this level, but as soon as we dig this out, all the batteries are going to lose power. So I want to replace this. All of that's got to be replaced with tiles. We can kind of do it slowly, I guess. We can kind of come in here a bit by bit, move the batteries down and power them directly from there. That'll look a lot neater, I think. Yeah, it'll look much better. Yeah, level this level. And then we can move these down a bit because I want 3 high there. I don't think it needs 3 high. No, it doesn't. I don't think you can put that in. Because that one's in there. Yeah, I think that is 3 high, isn't it? It doesn't look 3 high, but I think it is. Yeah, fair enough. That's landed here. There's data banks and all sorts of junk there now. We're going to put that there. We're going to see if we can make... We click down here, like some Isoresin. Check the entry. We can make insulation and we can make visco gel. Oh no, you need petroleum to make it. We can't make it here unless we've got some petrol. And I don't think we've got any, so that's that idea out of the question. We've got some resin. It looks like petrol, but it isn't. Since I built these sweepers right next to the pod, we haven't had any food come out of the pod at all. Is that a coincidence, or is that just like... I built it there on purpose so that the sweeper could take food from the pod. Okay, you're getting this built. This gun. Right, okay, let's see. We connect that now. Directly in there. This pulse is actually going to go, isn't it? 30-second pulse. Yeah, that's not going to work then, is it? No, it's not, is it? No, I don't think so. Going to pulse now. It's already giving the green signal up. Reset that, but that's fine. Flip that off. It sent some down. I don't know if it did. I don't think that was reset, was it? Still resetting it from the power thing there, so I think it won't do it until that's triggered. I don't think this is going to actually pulse in the way I want it to. Now that's off. This is off. Now if I flick that on, That shouldn't do anything, right? That stays off. Nothing's happening. This isn't counting down. When I flick it on, that's when you get your pulse. There we go. So that's when the power stops. Yeah. When it stops feeding out from the system, feeding water out, that's when it will send the pulse to say you can send some more down. But we'll probably have this on an AND gate or something, well, the power's being controlled. So if we can figure out how to get the power signal up there to say, hey, yeah, you're allowed to run because the volcano's erupting. Because we just saw this doesn't work like this. It only works when the volcano is erupting. So, yeah. That's good. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go in our rocket, your interior. We're going to choose this bucket here. We're going to go to turn off sweep only. We're going to go to, where is it? Manufactured material? No. Raw resource? Isoresin. And I think we're going to sweep some isoresin into the rocket. It will probably be pretty hot. Oops. It'll probably be pretty hot, but I think we'll be okay. Already taking some in by the look of it. It's got nothing better to do. Awesome sauce. Excellent. So we will check this. Have you pulsed already? Oh, you're about to. So you're about to pulse. I'll just back to there. Check the liquid section. That should pulse the power. And that should allow that to pump. 10k packet comes down. Comes down. It's this would only run if this was hot. We wouldn't just do this anytime. This is kind of going to work because it won't trigger the pulse. Can't be triggered until this triggers the system. So we can connect that. But this is on all the time. That's not good, is it? How do we cope with that? Done it again because it's by the time it stopped, pumping out the water. We never even used this because by the time it pumps out, it doesn't pump out enough. Okay. 2 turbines running doesn't pump out enough before this thing kicks in, stops it from running. So maybe we actually need to add a little filter to that. But I don't want it to run dry in here. But if we added a little filter to that to say, hey, keep running, not a filter, it would be a buffer. Just keep running for an extra 5 seconds. Pop that in there. You know what I mean? It doesn't need to be much, just an extra few seconds, just to take a little bit more water out. Because a lot of it is steam in the room and in the turbines. So it's kind of like hidden. And then when the turbines stop, it all ends up in this chamber and it goes, no, that's too much. I will add, say, I'll put the green signal if the input is green. Continue sending hang on, that's not going to work then. We need a double. We need a filter buffer. Yeah, more complicated every second, isn't it? It's one of those builds. Goes, no, that's not going to work. No, this is going to work. Only lets a green signal through if the input is green for longer than the second time. Continue putting our if the green signal was not long enough. I think we can just wait with that. I don't think that's going to matter at the moment. It's just going to add an extra 5 seconds next time it runs, which might turn this off. Next time it runs, we'll see. Might need a bit longer than 5 seconds. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. Need to test it after it's run. Maybe we need then that to be over here, so this connects to this end of it, not to the back end of it, because this is going to stay on for ages now. If we were connected to this end of it, it might be off at this point. We'll see. But this will make it run a bit extra, so this would be off if there wasn't enough steam in there to trigger it. And that's the goal of it. That's the goal of it. We might have to add a bit more time or take time away or something off of that buffer. I don't know. See when it runs. As soon as it starts, I think this will flash to Isoresin. If we could have fitted 2 of these in, we could make the Isoresin the preference, so it's a higher priority to be swept out. Can't do that with just one of them in there. In both ingredients. This is about to erupt, and this temperature of the steam should get a lot hotter all of a sudden. Oh yes, there it goes. Getting hotter. The resin's getting hotter. 125. 130, and it's turned to Isoresin now. What's the pressure like in here? The pressure's well under because it's running. A lot of the steam is in the turbines and stuff, and in the pipes. We'll see if that 5 seconds is enough when it stops. Everything's in. Everything's on there. That's turned to... right, so I want to check the automation system. I want to set this and do it manually, I think. Yeah, is that reset? Won't have reset yet. We can trigger that, can't we? Connected. That's not connected here, but I just want to test it first. About to trigger. Thing is triggered, but because it's not been reset, nothing's going to happen. Yeah, I don't think anything came out. Nope. We want it to run, we've got to trigger it ourselves quickly while this is still running. Letting out a hell of a pulse, I don't want it that long. Pulse can be 1 second, please. Fine, now you're done. Reset. Now this needs to trigger after it's been reset. That will trigger. Should now allow a drop through, isn't it? Yes. Please. Yes, let it pack it through. Yeah, that's good. It should drop in while it's nice and hot. While it's running material around. Yeah, we'll obviously put a lot more than 10k, I guess, whatever it'll let us put in. But I don't want this to run for too long after it's stopped. Because we could potentially end up with no water in here, and that would be terrible. That's what I'm thinking of, putting one of them definitely pumping into back in water. Because that way, because if this was set to too long, that could be bad, couldn't it? That could be very bad. Power wire, let's do it down here instead. Gonna move it up by 1, I think, are we? Yeah. Battery can go there. It just can't go there, but it can go there and it can go there. Put one in like that. Back it off to that. There we go. And we need to that to this battery instead now. Nipperoo that for now. So we've set it to whatever it is. Right, yeah. But the problem now with setting the buffer on this is that there is a potential that this thing could actually eventually take a long time, but it could eventually pump itself dry, because both of these are always putting the water through that. Whereas if we separated them, yes, it would take a bit longer. You'd have to have a bit more time on that buffer, but some water would always come back into the system. 50% of what comes out is always going to go back in. Regardless as to this, it will always put some water back in. If we did one of these is always running into the room. It would kind of act a little bit as a fail-safe for the system. We copy settings to that battery now. We connect that to that. Snip that off now. And deconstruct that piece. Can let that constantly run until this battery fills relevant amount, 60%. We can bring this one down, I think. Bring that one down here. That one's the one that's running all this anyway, so it makes more sense for it to be down here. I think I'll put it in the same line as the others, though. Instead of lining up with that one. That one's got to go. Do that. That. How's this done now? Off. See. Still running quite nicely. Temperature, everything is about to be evacuated from the room. So I won't add any more Isoresin just yet, because I'll probably badly time it by the time we've triggered it. And I want to see if that is going to pump it down to the right amount. We might as well connect it in and see what happens. Remove our thing there. That's going to go straight away, isn't it? Then it's going to continue. Yeah, no, that's fine. Got rid of the first knot there to override that. When this does go green, it shouldn't send any signal. Right, okay. I'm prepared. I'm waiting. Let's see what happens. Just going to add the rest of the stuff onto the system, the Isoresin and any last bits of tungsten it couldn't fit on there. Excellent. Beautiful. We will be ready to... this pressure in here will be building up now. It's building up. It's over. The green light should come on. I should have kept it running a little bit longer, but I don't think it did much. Oh, did that work? Did that actually run lower? Oh, it did. That extra second or two may have actually helped. Now it's on 19,000 something, which is perfect. That's turned off. I should have reset that. I didn't see it, but it's reset it. So when this runs again in the morning, won't trigger it now because it's got a while before it runs again. Excellent. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh, there's some more bog jelly coming in. Right. She about to go to bed. Yeah, she's about to go to bed again. Crikey, you're always going to bed. At the moment, we're running on this as a timer, a sensor. It will just trigger it once a day in the morning to run, just briefly. And hopefully, if it sends some, then this will trigger and it will stop triggering, and then when it stops triggering, it will reset that, allowing it to send some more the next day. You could potentially have an army of these cycle sensors all set to 1 second at various times of day. But at this rate, we're not getting through the resin, so we'll definitely have to bump it up to a decent amount. But I don't want to fill this tank too quickly with the overflow of water. So I just want to make a bit of resin, take it home with us, make a bit of visco gel, some insulation, and yeah. That one's now going to be deconstructed, and we're going to I think we're just going to go for it. We're just going to dig all this out. Going to deconstruct these. We might as well just get it done. We'll prioritize the first one here. Do that for that one. 6 for that one. So we can hopefully just build along, adding new batteries as we go. So once this goes dormant in another 56 cycles, we will come back in. We'll aim to come back then. I think we'll send Ellie back home for a little while. Go and explore the rest of the planets that we haven't found or whatever. This place will just run by itself for a little while. It can't send the Isoresin back because we haven't set anything up for that yet. But yeah, I'm thinking we can come back with a rocket and just pick up the Isoresin and then leave. But we don't want to leave it too long because eventually this water will heat up. And then we'll have a problem on our hands. I don't want that to happen. But for now, I will say thank you for watching. If you're watching this later on YouTube, welcome. Nice to have you. Please consider dropping a like or a subscribe if you can. That'd be great. If you're watching this on VODs later on Twitch. Hello. Hi. Perhaps you can join me live next time if you can. Great. But all it remains for me to say now is whatever the heck she's saying. Cheers.